to the No Practice Podcast, where we cover the only sport in the world where there is no practice. With your mini rod driving host, Adam Kester, Tyler Slaw, and Chase Richardson. Strap in for some debates on the world of pulling, exclusive special guests, and a whole lot of nonsense BS. The No Practice Podcast starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, tractor pulling fans, welcome in for episode number 65 of the No Practice Podcast, joined this evening by two Adams and Chase from Tomah, Wisconsin. Gentlemen, how are we doing this evening?
What's up? Looks like I'm a few $1,000s short, but I'm here, boys. Welcome back.
It's funny. Adam sent me that. He sent me a Snapchat earlier of the cardboard cutout and those two checks. And it looked so real at a moment's glance. I actually thought Adam got home, got into his fire suit, and posed in his shop for a picture with the two checks. I was going to be quite impressed to the dedication there.
Yeah, I love that you two guys. I was not there with you. I sent you. We're in a group chat, and I always try to do my congratulations. I get no response back. I just get pictures of y'all shotgunning beers, hoping you're happy Gilmore's up. So it's good the rest of the world can take this in today.
Yeah. There's
I
Adam and I.
Those were directly sent to Chase, I think, too, weren't they?
Yeah. This is. I just why is the amounts different?
Okay,
because Tyler's a badass.
Well, yeah, there's Adam on Saturday. You know, we were making sure to send that one to Chase as well.
I got it about 4 a.m.
We really just wanted.
That was Friday.
Yeah. We wanted Chase to feel like he was part of the moment. But what they do there is if there is a rain out the previous session, they take some of that prize money instead of just pretending it disappeared. They put it towards the very next session. So Friday.
Pretending it disappeared. That's good, Tyler. I never thought of it that way.
Well, you did pay to get into it. I'd hope you get it back, right?
Yes, yeah. Exactly. You get.
Like they divided up and double down the next pull, basically, it sounds like.
Yeah, not quite double down, but yeah, increased, if you want to say that. So that is why I did win the good one Friday. But
yes,
I often say nobody really remembers who won Friday at a 2-day event. It's who won Saturday. And you know who won Saturday is our boy Adam.
Yeah, I got lucky, brother.
Yeah.
So for the fans that don't know, can we tell them where you were pulling, what was going on last weekend?
Adam, take it away.
Give them the whole rundown.
Farley, Iowa, 300 Raceway, event high stakes event. I'm trying to remember. You know, my mind isn't quite working correctly because I think the whole time we were there, I think I was on third shift. Please
explain. You can't just talk on code in this show. We're going to ask you what that means.
Okay, so I think everybody that was there kind of knew it was like 3:00 in the afternoon. It starts raining lightly, and we were expecting maybe it to blow through this, that, and the other. It just kept drizzling and whatnot. And about 7:00, it quit. Wasn't it 7, Tyler?
Yeah, probably something like that. I think we finally started pulling around, what was it, 9:30, 10 o'clock, something like that?
We definitely started at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody thought there when they saw him go out onto the dirt track to move some dirt around that we were going to be doing anything that night. But, they got a decent amount of rain. Track was wet, but, they got her fixed up and ready for us to run. 10 o'clock at night. I think the last tractor went down the track at what? 2, 3 a.m.?
It was 3:08 in the morning when the last super farm spun it in at the end of the track. I was standing there with some fans of the show. They had taken me under their wing and were giving me delicious Busch Light limes and making sure I was well hydrated as we took in
fans
the last.
This show or that show?
Fans of both, I guess you could say.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, they didn't know you were because if you're there. They knew you because of the show, though, right?
Oh no, they were for sure to mention the show. There was plenty of people that came up to me, whether it was, one thing about it, there's the Milestone Event Center there on the grounds in Farley. And so one perk of that is fans of the show, if you're just standing at the bar, they'll buy you beer and the bartender will just set it in front of you. And I'll be like, who just got this for me? And they'll be like, that guy down there in the gray shirt. And they'll be like, love the show, Tyler. And I'm just like, oh, this is a bad program for my liver, but I got to love it in the moment. So
I was very butthurt. I wasn't there with you all. It was the first ever pull at Farley I've never attended. I was ahead of you all because one year the minis weren't there. I went with my 2-wheel drive, but next year I'll try to go in Adam's pit crew. My friends. I miss my friends, but I hate getting texts at 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning. So it's worth me going there so I can at least get some damn sleep.
Yeah, that makes sense. But
I mean, it was definitely interesting. I think we went to bed at like 4:30 or something in the morning.
I saw.
Usually we're hammering beers and stuff.
You saw the sun come up, Adam.
Saturday,
but what's the difference in Friday and Saturday?
Well, the fact that you got to load up all your shit and it takes a long time to load everything up, and then had some unfortunate circumstances with the engine and had to get it loaded up, get it home to repair it, and a customer's engine, and then we decided to drink beer for a little bit, and then it's like, oh, we got a couple side-by-sides and tables and chairs and grills and everything to load up. So we did that, and we finished and went to bed about 5:30. So got up at 10 to drive home. Just enough time to see some tornadoes when we got home. So that was pretty cool.
Tornadoes.
I got to tell you, that tornadoes hit. Sorry I didn't chuck on you, Adam. I didn't even think about that. I'm sorry. It happened like 2 days ago, right?
Yeah, we were okay. I mean, the weather was fine, but we were actually driving home and we saw what was the start of an EF3 tornado. It was kind of crazy. But yeah, got home and I'm just now getting my my cycle back on sleep and waking up at the proper times, going to bed at the proper times.
Well, at least you're staying responsible despite having your 2 kids and wife at age 40, Adam. I'm really proud of you. I do gotta say though, you all mentioned the fans giving you the Busch Light limes, Tyler. Never a show goes by that we don't acknowledge how awesome it is to have people in the pits. But I had something at Hutch, which I guess was the weekend before last. So since our last show, I had a fan come up to me with literally a gift. And he's like, you don't know me, but I'm a fan of the podcast. And I just don't think, I think it's wrong how those guys make fun of you and treat you on the show. So I want you to have this present. And he handed me a gift and I opened it up and I'm like, what the hell is this? And he's like, well, you got to do X, Y, Z. And, you're going to get these guys good. They won't know it, but you just got a video up for the show. So I text Adam and Tyler both and told them about my present. For you, fan, I forgot your name, but stay tuned. Whenever I see Adam and Tyler sometime at a pool, we will document this. And all your love and support is appreciated for how bad these guys treat me, and we will get them back. So
what we got? What is this?
Yeah,
I can't let you know what it was because the guy got me a gift. He paid for the gift. If I told you what it was, it would defeat the purpose of the gift. So you will know and you'll love it. So,
okay.
But games are awesome. Love it.
Stay tuned, I guess, huh?
Yeah. I guess I got to see you all at some point, right? Because you're not here with me. I'm here at Tomah. By the way, that was the debut of when was that? 2 years ago, our first ever live show. I was talking to somebody about that.
Yeah.
What was the name of that bar? Do y'all remember? Something.
Oh man, I bought
the bank. The bank.
The bank. That's right. The bank in the outdoor little grass area. That was a ton of fun. We gotta set one of those up again one day. But here at Tomah, fun week in the pit, different background. I've got dumbass there.
Look at this iconic moment as Donald removes his shirt live on camera. A lot of people don't get to witness that transition. They either see him in a shirt, or if you go to the banquet, you see him not in a shirt. But to see the transition take place is quite something.
The questionable part for us is Adam knows this because he's known Don for a while. Like, it doesn't matter if camera's on or off. He's the same. And we let this guy actually cook for us, and he's cooking steak. So the sun is beaming down, so it's rightfully so a time to take the shirt off. And
Budweiser and butter, huh? He's getting it with it.
At least there's no crack right now, but we'll just stay tuned. That might come in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Chase, you're at Tomah, been there all week.
Yeah, we were
coming back from
Mackville.
Mackville, Seymour, Wisconsin. Tell us about
Seymour.
that.
Yeah, first time there. As we all know, when you go to new places, you expect good or bad, but it was a huge crowd, very impressive event in terms of just the amount of diehard pulling fans. Like, just Evansville's the same way too. But like when you go to these pockets of the country that haven't seen like the highest level pulling and like high stakes, Grand National, whatever it is, I'm not getting in a pissing match. Like that's all the highest level. But when you go to these places and these people don't see, like I had a moment on I think Saturday. There was people that came to our trailer and like, dude, we drove 5 hours to come to this place because we heard Unlimiteds and Mini Rods were here. So it's basically Green Bay, Wisconsin. Pretty cool. You know, all that money from that event goes to a Catholic parish. So I think they're on their 50th year. But the track heard a lot of stories about tracks, and I'm sure we'll get to tracks again at some point in the show. But the track was really surprisingly way better than we thought it'd be, and it was it was a fun time. Doesn't mean I didn't have FOMO of you all in Farley, but I only have FOMO for you all in Farley because y'all were in the milestone drinking beer without me. It wasn't the pulling; it was just the beer drinking. But Mackville was fun, good weekend, and look forward to hopefully maybe going back again one day.
Yeah, they had rain again there, didn't they? Too.
They did. Right when the show was starting, there was a little. It wasn't like a torrential downpour. It was just like enough to piss you off. And
that's about how it was at Farley. It really never rained hard. It just rained for 4 hours, on and off.
Yeah. But I still say the craziest shit ever. Going back to Hutch. Of course, we all go to a pool, and every single person looks at a weather radar at some point, right? And Hutch, you know, the weather here, the weather at Seymour and Hutch, like it's freaking like 75, 80 degrees, perfect weather. Looking at Kentucky and back home next week, we'll be in the hundreds, so we'll be in full blazing summer after that. But at Hutch, there was no chance of rain. But you know what's funny? When we got there on Friday morning, Ricky Rose said it's probably going to rain later today. I said, Ricky, there's no chance of rain. And sure enough, right when the national anthem ended, a freaking cloud popped up. It rained and it didn't leave. So Ricky is like he's like an Indian for Hutchinson, Minnesota. He knows when the freaking rain dancers are coming. And one of those stories to say, like, remember that time at Hutch, right? And I will say at Hutch,
I remember getting rained out at Hutch a few years back, which, you know, it's kind of you're at Tomah. Notoriously, they always get like a session or two that's got some sort of rain in it. But like when you're pulling in that time of that, we tend to be in the same areas at the same, you know, every part of the year, it's always potentially going to rain. And I remember at Hutch one year it rained and I had my little blue van. And I went in to eat because Ricky, he always feeds everybody so well, you know, smoked pork chops and all the stuff, man. Food's always great and hospitable. And I come out, my van's gone.
Oh.
And so I'm looking everywhere. I figured, it's probably sitting out in the middle of the track or something, you know. And we looked around for about an hour for it. And I think Adam Bauer took it and moved it underneath Brett Berg's canopy on his trailer. It's funny. We probably walked by it 3 times before we found it.
Go ahead.
He didn't want the rain to get on your van, Adam. He was looking out for you.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Tyler, if I interrupt a lot, do I get to mess up your Happy Gilmore board? I don't see anything back
prepared for that.
Oh, that's not cool. Oh, look at you.
Perfect timing, Tyler. It's awesome.
Adam, I also, and I think you mentioned some folks that we drank beer with and met some fans in Minnesota, Hutch, and like people, Hutchinson, Minnesota has huge crowds. Like on Saturday night, you could not move in that place, but there was literally fans that were like, man, me and Rods have been here. Tyler and Adam both be here. I'm like, yeah, those fuckers, they had to change the classes. But, yeah, it all long ways up there. But they are pulling fanatics and always good to visit those places.
You picked up a win there in the 2-engine, right?
Yes, I did on I only pulled one day. Yeah, we won Saturday night. Made probably the best run I've ever made in a 2-engine. One of those deals where the track was not the easiest taking off, and no one was finishing on the right side, and we kind of kept it on that side. And you know how it goes. You win by 20 feet instead of 5 feet because you hit fresh dirt. So
what you're saying, Chase, is it was a real driver's track. You're taking all the credit on that success.
It was not a driver's track because
okay.
I won. It was just a little slower takeoff.
I was trying to give you credit here. Chase, how does a really killer pass compare in the twin engine compared to a really killer pass in the mini rod?
Man, I've been asked that a lot. It seems like the last week or two, I guess because we've been out pulling with all this stuff. But I'm telling you, there's nothing beats a pass in a mini rod. That pass I had on Saturday at Evansville, I know I got, 8th or 9th, but that was one of the best rides I've had in a mini rod in a long time. So when those things pick their front end up and you can carry them all the way down the track, I can't imagine a better ride I'm pulling. But any ride that's a winning ride is a good ride, Tyler.
But right? that is a killer pass, though. That picked up the front end and really virtually never bobbled or set it down or anything. Like that's about as good as you get.
Yeah, that chassis is probably the oldest chassis competing in the class. It was Keith Wason's. I think it was built in the 2000s. But
so
man,
the old Super B.
Yeah, that thing has won a lot of pulls, and it likes 2 engines.
So weren't you guys actually going to build a new one?
We have a new one being built, but that's how stupid we are. Why the hell would you get rid of this thing?
Yeah, look at that thing. Even when the box stops, it doesn't set the front end down. Like that's when you know you're on one, because usually you'll hang the front end, the box is coming up, and once that thing kind of tops, you'll somewhat bobble. But that thing just held it the whole way. We've got some videos of a couple of Adams passes too, don't we?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Special thanks to JP Productions and Thurston Videos for allowing us to show these for Adam.
Yeah, this is Saturday. Track was a little tricky. I moved over to the right. A lot of people were running on the left throughout the night, and I moved it over to the right. And
how they ran or how they finished, Adam.
That one got 4th. It was the 3rd hook of the class. Took the lead.
Each tractor you ran went further, I'm assuming.
No, the second one, man, it was going faster than the red one was, but man, I did what Brandon Simon did on Friday night. I tapped the brake and the thing just took off to the left. Like right there, you see me hit the brake and it started one-wheeling. Yeah, it just one-wheeled and it just really took off to the left. And at that point, you just got to hold on to it and hope it doesn't get worse. But
I know
there's the last one.
I know there's
the last one. It was.
Sorry, Adam.
Yeah, you're fine. And then just the last one, just this tractor's been doing really well this year. So I'm not gonna lie, Tyler. Yeah, you moved weight back. I threw weight off. And
how did you get your front end up like that compared to the other two, Adam?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, maybe Tyler's going to be mad at me for saying this, but we were talking at the starting line. He's like, I'm taking my whole 30 pounds and I'm putting it on the rear. And I go, shit, I can put my weight on the back because I've never been able to. Honestly, like the way the weights have been made, I haven't been able to. I didn't even know how to put them on the back. And I put them back. It took me a couple minutes to figure it out, but I just moved 2 weights back and I drove it a little more patient. The track was getting better from the first couple of hooks. So I don't know. It picked up the first one. The second one tried to pick up the third one. I moved the weight back. It picked it up even higher. But it was, I mean, Jordan put it out there pretty good. Abby Leisler put a really good run out there. You never know. It was definitely a hard to get the thing going, but it seemed like once you got it going, you were really moving good.
I would agree with
like
that.
We were flying. Like it felt like it was moving fast.
As we said last podcast and all podcasts, there's no such thing as a bad track, just bad setups. But What was different between this Farley track from other years, just to be blunt about it?
I think if whatever you would say, Tyler, but like it was so wet on Friday, like to have that amount of water in the track, plus it was overcast, and then the moisture it was put in it. I mean, it was pretty wet, and I think if you listen to some of the engines, you could hear it. Tyler he turned the gear good, and he laid down a hell of a pass, and Saturday they were trying to get the pump out of it because the sled was hard to move on the bigger classes. So they wanted to dry it out a little bit, and just when the sun's beating down and it gets windy out, it's really hard to keep moisture in any kind of dirt, regardless of where it's at.
It was weird, like you say, like with it pumping, and like I guess my definition.
Hey, hang on a second. Define pumping for our.
I was trying to before you interrupted me.
Right be on your Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Define pumping, because honestly, I don't know if I know what that means.
Yeah. So it's basically like when the sled is backing over it, and you can kind of see the ground almost acting like there's water down in there, but it's almost like there's a hard crust over top. So like there's moisture down in there somewhere. Like it wouldn't surprise me if you would have dug a 2-foot hole, if the dirt 2 feet down probably had more water in it than the dirt 6 inches on top.
So the definition of pumping is that there's different layers of how the
dirt... yeah, but when you back the sled over, like maybe, I don't know if you were ever there, Chase, for it, like the craziest version of this that I've ever seen, Hansel Sullivan pull, and I don't know how many years ago it was, but I think Tyler was there. Absolute craziest thing I've ever seen. When the sled's backing down the track, you could only see the middle of the wheel. Like the ground was so far below it when it was backing over it, like it never got stuck. It kept moving, but like you couldn't see half the tire. And then you'd back up and it would just pop right back up. And that was the craziest track I've ever seen. It was like there was moguls in the center of the track going down for the two-wheelers. My dad tried to run on it and crashed really bad.
Yes. So the pumping analogy, and I have a witness to this. So back in Evansville, almost a month ago, and Evan Bibbert, who Adam knows from Evansville, can confirm this. So Jim Miller's taking me through all the sciences of how he's going to make this track good, and he said it's really pumping. And I said, Jim, what the hell does pumping mean? So I genuinely like knowing.
So, Chase, having that you asked him that question, give us your version of how Jim Miller described pumping to Chase Richardson.
Essentially, about the way he described it was the moisture at the bottom was coming up to the top.
Yeah,
is how he lost me when he said moisture, but whenever the moisture at the bottom was coming to the top.
Yeah, you're not used to dealing with moisture. Is that what you're saying?
Big words really scare me.
Yeah, that's quite a few syllables for you.
Moisture scares me.
Yeah, get you into trouble.
But I mean, I don't know. Saturday, I think they tried to dry out the starting line so the sled would roll easier, and it just got away from them. It was a lot drier.
So I obviously I keep up with my friends over there. Believe it or not, I'd like to think we're all fans of each other when we're not together. We pretty well talk in all times of the night, but in my mind, I was thinking you all were going to be done before we got done because I saw that you all are first class. Or I text someone that said you're first class, and they moved you to the end of the show, so I was able to watch part of it, and then I left to go to the band. But they tried to run a mini rod to start the show. Is that right?
Yeah, and I feel like whenever that happens as a whole, what they're trying to do on that series is give all the classes the chance to be the last class, the first class, the middle class. Years for semis, they were always last class. And they're trying to shake that up a bit. And I feel like we've seen that kind of all the way across the board. I feel like we've seen, haven't we even seen some unlimiteds this year be first class out, where for decades, I feel like it was just unlimiteds. They got to be last. They got to be last. We had Billy Beers on here, and he's like, the unlimiteds are the top fuel of tractor pulling. and half the frickin' people have gone home. Meanwhile, we're bringing this badass machine out on the track. What the hell are we doing? Let's finish the national anthem and fire up 5 fire-breathing motors out there, for God's sake. Everybody's like, calm down, Billy.
As a second class on any show is perfect because the first show gets it groomed and then people want to all come in to watch them, right?
Here, I think that's, anybody can say what they want. It's very hard for any place to do it. The first class is always going to be subject to something.
Yeah, you're the guinea pig, right?
And I think they're trying to, I'm sure there's a lot of guys out there going, well, we got screwed here because, and I get it. I really do. I mean,
but you got a special guest here, AP1 Insurance. He likes to come back to the show.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He brought natural light natter days. That's some shit you drink, Tyler. Have y'all had these natural light natter days?
Tyler put a clinic on those.
That's why Tyler's had them.
Oh yeah.
I've
had natter days for sure. Mr. Derek Bargy and I, we had a couple of beverages on a Saturday evening there in Farley, celebrating the Bargy's second place finish in the mod class with the turbine-powered judge.
You can see in the pulling landscape, like these pits are a little bit of tailgates, and obviously starting tomorrow night, it'll be a freaking shit show. But we have a group of people piled in here. We got I think late model racing on. There's always beer in the UD pit, as there is in your all's pit. So a little bit of social gathering. I know you all know all about the beers at pulling events, right?
Yeah, we may have had to shotgun a few up there in the milestone in Farley. There was a couple of people with the device that Grace always brings around, which is like the plastic gun that kind of opens up and unfurls, and you put the beer in and you rack the thing and you pull the trigger and drink it out of it. It's a clever device, but I gotta say it's hard to beat right out of the can.
Yeah, Tyler, I felt really bad. We were going to shotgun a beer there, and he opened it up so perfectly and had like the monster hole in the bottom of it, and we were going to race, which he was going to win anyways. I mean, there's we're just not going to go there. My hand missed the tab. He had the whole beer down before I even got the tab, then about choked on it. Like it was ridiculous. But I didn't get up to the milestone on Saturday night. I heard there was a lot of people up there, but how does that work? Chase, you'll pull tomorrow, but take us through what you do whenever you're not pulling the next day. Of course, you guys got so many vehicles, you pull about every damn session. What do you do, Tyler?
We have vehicles, but Adam, you know this better than anybody. It is so less stressful pulling one vehicle in the class because obviously I've had 2 or 3 two-wheel drives, I've had 2 or 3 mini rods. Running one at one time, obviously it's based on not tearing shit up, but it's way less stressful, I swear, than running 3 mini rods. Adam, I don't know how you do it. That just seems like a freaking not the actual running part, but like getting them up there and get them situated. Like that's a lot. I don't think people understand how complicated that gets.
It's a lot. I mean, I looked at Tyler this past weekend, and they have the perfect amount: Courtney, Tyler, Bruce, and that's the amount of vehicles that they got to take to the starting line. I have to have at least 4 people, if everything flows good. If not that, and when they split you up and you're running back and forth and you're trying to do it, like I don't understand how some of the guys do it. I mean, it's
so
crazy.
Normally we have with one vehicle like that. I said, Adam, we have me or my dad who's driving. We have 2 good guys that aren't drinking. Then we got about like 6 dudes that are freaking smoked. But we have like 8 people around the vehicles because we got all these wristbands at all times. So when someone says like, man, those dudes travel a lot of dudes. No, there's always like the driver, 1 or 2 half sober ones, and then like the other 6 are smoked. So
it is tough. I don't know how Adam does it because Bruce and I used to run 3 mini rods, and there was times it would be just Bruce and I rolling into an event, and we have our Kubota support vehicle and 3 mini rods. So a total of 4 steering wheels to theoretically hold going to the scales. And we got 2 people going to the event. And so we would flag down random fans or other pullers and be like, hop in this thing, would you? We got to go. And everybody would chip in and help. But there's no part of me that would want to go back to that. I can promise you all the people that are like, how is it fair when one person gets to run so many vehicles in the class? Man, I am here to tell you,
It
when we
sucks.
ran 3 mini rods, our whole program took a step backwards because it is just utter chaos trying to keep track. Okay, with tire pressure, where's this one at? No, we got to get this one. There's times we'd bring them into the line.
Go grab that one. It's on the draw. It's getting drawbar measured.
Yeah, they'd be out of order. And then Bruce and I are trying to switch driving duties in the other one. And you're like, oh, crap, I got to be out of this one. You got to be in this one. No, yours up there. Mine's up there. I pull after you, not you, because you run the third one today. Next thing you know, we're setting the fuel in one tractor twice. The third tractor isn't even getting an adjustment on the fuel based on the air. It's freaking chaos. I don't know how Adam does it, and I give him all the credit in the world. Like,
no, it's, we're dumb as hell. It all starts for us when we get our numbers, right? You unload, you put them in order, just so you're. And the other thing about it is, and this will always be a point to me. If there's ever a point in time that I slow up the show because I'm taking too long, I will not have 3 mini rods. I like to think we try to be.
Better be glad I'm not in that series. I'd be fucking all over your ass. They'd be booting you out.
I like to think that we try to, I might take my tractor over to the scale early in the day, try to get the weight close. So when we roll across, we try to be fast, setting hitches and all that stuff, because if we all sit in line and stuff, it takes a lot of time to do all that shit. But it's pure chaos. I don't watch the class, and I think it's the best thing that I've done lately. Is I kind of pay attention to a few guys don't go down the track, but I'm just solely focused on what I have to do and what my tractors can do.
I feel like you have to.
You can't watch the class. You're not going to learn anything. So if I run and I'm done, I don't even go up and watch the class. But I'm nervous,
I feel like
hang on, but you still watch a couple of the early ones run if you're not running.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'll go, oh shit, they're moving.
Adam has a crew that just puts up a big blinder over them so we don't watch. But we all watch. I understand what I'm saying though. You can't get caught up in everything else.
Well, I think Adam is actually unique in what he's saying, and I've witnessed it. And I think it was at Farley last year. Adam had ran all of his tractors, and because of the qualifying day, I think it was one of the qualifiers.
No, it was the qualifying day. We only had to run one tractor.
Yeah. So Adam runs one tractor.
First took.
Yeah, I make my run, and I'm pulling off to the track, going to the left. We're hitching out, we're weighing out as we should, and then you kind of get your stuff out of the way to go watch. And Adam's just standing there, leaning against his tractor. He's done pulling for the night, and there's like 10 tractors left to go. And I'm like, what are you doing?
24.
Adam shrugs his shoulders and he goes, oh, I can't watch. I'm like, what? I'm like, what do you mean you can't watch? And he just shrugs and takes a sip of his beer and he goes, yeah, I just can't really watch. I don't know, man. And I'm like, all right, that's pretty unique, I feel like.
No, because you know what's really funny? I'm the biggest fan of pulling. I'll go up there. I love to watch pro stocks and mods and any class. I like to take in. But there's something about the mini rod class that I just can't sit there. I don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm a weirdo.
BALLS deep in it.
Well, I know, but I think honestly, the worst thing that happened to me years ago is you start paying attention to what other people are doing and how they're driving and doing all that stuff. It puts bad ideas in your head, and I just try to not pay attention to it. I'm focused on my stuff.
I would agree with that. I think half the time it helps me.
That's a very adult statement right there. I like it. That's a good point.
I think half of the time it helps me to watch and half the time it hurts me, because there's times in the mini rod class especially you don't really know what you can get away with from a driving standpoint based on how the track is. And so there's times I'll watch a couple of people and how they drive and I'm like, oh, you can't do that here. You can't get away with that. They got pretty upset. Mental note, be patient. Be patient.
Adam gave me some great advice when I was telling him how I'm running a reverser in a mini rod. He's like, well, shit, that's going to help you. You just don't change nothing. Just adjust how you drive. I'm like, okay, sounds good.
We notoriously don't change gears. Like I leave the same gear in it, and I just change my tires based on my gear. And it's truly because it takes longer to change the gears than it does the tires. Right? So
because you're a lazy ass.
No, I don't want to go through 30 drums of oil changing gear every time you got to change a gear.
Well, you know an oil guy, so that helps.
A lot
Yeah,
of ways,
but
a
still,
lot of ways to skin a cat was what we're saying. And
that's wasted good oil, Tyler. I like to keep that oil. You know what I mean?
Well, when you're running a premium oil like yourself, Adam, you can run it all year long without having to worry about it. Isn't that right?
Well, I don't know. Your dad tells me that you don't even know what gear is in your tractor.
I actually don't. Isn't that fun? I went through a period a while back where I knew what I wanted for RPM, and I was changing my gear. And at the time when I put the gear in, clearly I knew what gear it was. Like, I'm not just grabbing 3 random gears being like, these ones seem to fit, and just running them. But yeah, at this point, nowhere is what gear is in my mini rod written down anywhere. And gun to my head, I couldn't tell you the gear ratio that's in it, but I just try to make sure I'm running where I want my RPMs to be, and I seem to have it in the right window, so I'm not messing with it at that point.
So basically, you're running an ATV, not a mini rod. It's ATV, forward, reverse, neutral.
Well, I think, yeah, I guess if you want to call it that. I thought you were saying I was running an all-terrain vehicle, an ATV, but
an ATV, forward, reverse.
Okay, is that what the ATV stands for?
I told you I'm not good with big words.
Well, yeah, okay. Well,
that's an abbreviated word. You must not be good at those either.
Yeah.
Y'all know me well enough. Don't pick on me. Hey, that guy gave me.
Hey, we're not picking on Chase. We'd never pick on Chase.
That guy gave me a gift, and we're coming after y'all. See.
Adam and I have already been receiving.
What was the age-old tale back in the day, Chase? Tell them PPL boys I'm coming.
When I was 14, yeah.
Yeah. That may have been the funniest thing all the time.
That's an old story. That's
a very old story. I thought that was hilarious.
You ain't PPL boys. You're my podcast guest.
No. We're tractor pullers, man. Hey, I'm not throwing anybody.
But we're gonna stick together, right?
I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus because I don't do that. But I really wanted to go to Tomah. We just don't have the manpower to do it. We look at the schedule, we see what pulls we can do, and the window that we got for the guys that can go with us. And I wanted to go. I'd like to think the last time I missed Tomah, it's been forever. I like that place a lot. The track's good and always got a good crowd.
You should have been here. I was gonna text you and I got sidetracked, but they were. The parking, the parking these big events, like everyone's like, gotta get the parking spot right. And the Kesters have always been this prime spot right here next to us. And hey, did y'all hear the news? Kester ain't coming. Spot over there.
Yeah, it's fighting. Like Simon's ain't coming.
Did you hear the news? What news? Kester ain't coming. Spot over there.
So yeah, so the funniest thing is like, so I get a message from Mark Pysick, and he says, some asshole made me buy this, and he bought a speaker like mine, so you guys are still going to hear music all night.
Well, I'm gonna find me a paper towel and make it a check, and I'm going to fucking hold it up if I get in the top 3 and say, hey, where are you fuckers at? And send it to him. But it'll only be a paper towel.
I love it.
Yep.
No, I think you're gonna do good. You gotta have confidence, right? You're gonna do good this weekend.
Well, I don't know. We know we're all capable of screwing stuff up, but I only envy to run a mini rod as well as you all have. So hopefully one day we'll get there.
Yeah, Chase actually begged us not to come to Tomah because he was worried that we were going to set up a challenge, and he knows that Adam and I are on a bit of a hot streak right now. So
I told you all. I think I sent this to you all or one of Adam's buddies who was heckling me. I'm like, thank God I'm not there. I'd have no hair left on my body if I was in the freaking circus.
Yes.
I tell you what, man, the competition across the board in every class is awesome. You start looking at some of these distances in these classes, and you're like, what, 3 people were 307 the other night, right?
Yeah.
You could have been in.
I think between 4th and 8th or 9th was in like a foot or 2 foot, maybe. I think.
So
it's crazy, dude.
On Friday, I think I was 324.7 and Adam was 324.5.
Yeah, we have parity over here. You two just went over there. So
I got him by 0.2 of a foot, which I think is like what 2.4 inches or something like that.
Pulling fans, if you don't watch Adam and Tyler win, highly recommend going to one of their circuits. I'm not the Fent High Stakes. If you want to see parity, come over here because they can't win if they're not here, right?
Well, I tell you what, that wasn't the first time a slaw got me going the same distance. I think at Dragway 42, Bruce did about the exact same thing.
Yeah,
Snuck it out. So
mini rods, we seems like we've been profiling mini rods in the show a lot, but it is the most badass class in pulling, right, guys?
that's right.
Have a return of the Man I Wish There Was Practice backstage. Maybe we want to start the drum roll and
the No Practice Podcast. Man, I wish there was a practice segment.
Oh my God!
Are we going to play the video or are we going to make a phone call? Which way do we want to go on this?
We need to make a phone call and get you tell the story with the phone call, then we can show the video. Sounds good to me, as long as Adam's okay with it.
Oh, right. Whatever we want to do here. This is maybe the most interesting thing I've ever seen.
Can you guys hear? Okay.
Yes.
Hopefully he.
Hello.
Hi, Mike. This is Mike, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mike. This is Tyler Slaw. We've got you live on the No Practice Podcast here. How you doing this evening?
Doing great, fellas. How are you guys?
Oh,
good.
They're doing great.
Thanks
they're doing
for
great. So we've got a little video that we're going to share here from Cam's Pulling Productions. Anybody can check them out on Facebook and YouTube. Give them a like and a follow there. They've got some tractor pulling videos. Mike, you may have a light hunch as to the video that we are talking about.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
You're familiar with it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Mike, we're seeing you go down the track, and I got to say, it's a shame you hit the chalk because you had to have brought home the furthest distance pulled at that event, and the head of ground speed you brought to the table, unprecedented, Mike. Did you have a data logger on there to see what kind of speed you had going?
No, I sure didn't.
Oh, from the seat, how fast do you think you were going, Mike?
I haven't been going 40. It felt like it, but I don't know. Things were happening fast.
Well, I can imagine. Walk us through as we kind of watch this video on replay, just kind of what all went down and what that felt like there.
Well, as I walked around before the pull, I decided that was some of the best dirt we were going to pull on all year. I loved that soil over there. So I was going to decide to be a lot more aggressive on the takeoff. And
I'll say.
then it started acting up on me, and something didn't feel right at about 100 foot. It started wheel hopping, and that's because it wasn't loaded. It was just bouncing.
Yeah.
There's nothing on the chain, and
Right.
Then it got real goofy, and then I let out. I took my hand right off the throttle, and it's a good thing I did, because if it wouldn't have got bouncing around, I'd have been going even faster.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine. People always say, how fast would one of these go if they didn't, have something holding them back. And I feel like you got pretty close to finding out, but it looked like you did, honestly, a pretty veteran move driving the way, like you say, you got off the throttle, but then you kind of kicked it sideways. And I've watched this video probably 100 times. You actually see you steer into it like somewhat of a drift car as you kind of blow her out the big end there and keep everything all lined up so that it didn't turn over.
Yeah, I was jackknifed to the right, and I could feel the chain tightening up, and the front of the sled starting to compress my one tire, and I could feel it like a spring, and it was starting to get on one wheel sideways and hop a little bit, like trying to push me over, but the chain was holding it. So then I steered the other way, and it did the same thing in the opposite direction, and I was amazed that the thing didn't flip me over.
Yeah.
What about the brakes? What about the brakes? I mean, what were you doing with the brakes during that? Because I'm like, this is the best driving job I've ever seen of somebody keeping that thing from rolling over. That was the craziest shit I've ever seen.
Were you getting on the brakes there, Mike?
I second that.
Yeah, the last half of it all, I was on the brakes. Yeah.
Okay.
I was on the brakes, off the brakes. I was doing whatever would happen to try to keep it on four wheels.
Well, you did a phenomenal job. And the best part about this was you kind of composed yourself, gathered your thoughts, and is it true you just came back and you hooked again later that night, right?
Yeah, as
God.
the thing finally stopped and the dust settled, the track crew come up to me and said, "Hey, it wasn't your fault. The sled malfunctioned. Do you want to come back?" And at that moment, it was the last thing on my mind. And I thought, hell, we'll drag it up there and look it over. And there was only 2 more tractors to go, so I didn't have a lot of time to look it over. Only thing I could find wrong was one wheelie bar bent up about 6 inches. I was really looking at my hitch, thinking that was going to be twisted and everything, and couldn't find nothing wrong with it. So I decided the next event's in less than 2 weeks. I don't want to wait then to find out if something's wrong, so I'm coming back now.
You're
So that's what I did.
Yeah.
You're doggone right. Now, did that thing with one wheelie bar higher, was that kind of in the back of your mind where you're like, man, if this thing rears up, it's going to hit a wheelie bar on one side and just tilt me up towards the heavens? Or
Well, I jumped on it and it back down, so it was within 2 inches of the other one, and I didn't have time to do anything else about it, so I was going to roll the dice.
God, I love that get her done attitude in the heat of the moment.
So it was a ride.
How did he finish that night, Mike? I know you made a pass. Did you finish second?
Yeah, we were first and second. Yeah.
Oh,
damn! I'm gonna start calling you Adam and Tyler.
Yeah, you're killing it. You're killing it.
Oh, shit.
I love it, Mike. Well, it's always exciting, when things happen, but nobody's hurt. Kind of things don't go as planned, but they kind of go as planned best as possible given the scenario and the cards you were dealt there.
Let me ask you this: what was worse at the time coming down through there? I'm gonna hit a motorhome, or I could go over a bank into some trees.
Well, I seen that ravine before the event, and I was probably about 50 foot from it when I finally stopped. And I was thinking, is this son of a bitch ever going to stop? Because I started to think I was going over that hill and that sled was going to crush me.
Oh boy.
Well, we're glad all was well, Mike, for sure.
No kidding.
You guys run a tough group of mini rods. Where do we go from here? Are you guys headed to Tomah there? Or?
No, we're not going to make that. We're just going to run mostly Ohio this year, so we'll be going to Greenwich next 4th of July weekend.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Yeah, there's a couple of pulls there 4th of July weekend. You got the Door Summer Sizzler there as well. It's I can appreciate your guys' dedication setting aside that holiday to go do some more tractor pulling for sure. What is there, like 17 hooks on the OSTPA series this year?
Yeah.
That's a lot for sure. But
most of them are less than 2 hours from home for us, so
that's amazing
to do that.
Yeah, but you can't hardly beat that.
As long as we make it out of Tomah this weekend, Mike. Chase Smith, a fellow light mod puller, great dude. Adam, I know you know him. He's Greenwich is his pull. I'm planning on coming there, so we'll hopefully not run into any ravines, and hopefully you don't get first and second, and we'll have a good time, right?
Yeah, well, regardless, we'll top it off with a bush light at the end of the night.
That's right. But Chase is cheers into that, Mike. But Adam and I are really rooting for you to whip his ass, and we've got pretty good faith in you as well there. So
it don't take much, Mike. Tyler, Mike, I know. Appreciate you coming on this podcast, and the driving is one thing to keep that thing from tumbling over, as Adam noted, but to come back and pull again in the class and still have success. It was an unfortunate situation, but badasses like you and Bryce we want to make sure we spotlight you for doing stuff like that. And I think that was pretty damn cool. I know Adam and Tyler can agree with me on that. So kudos to you guys.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Mike, you used to run a 4-wheel drive truck, right?
Yeah, I ran 2 of them in Ohio for like 16 years.
And you guys made the switch, I don't know, what was it, about 5 years ago to go to the mini rods, maybe longer than that?
Yeah, about 5.
How do the two compare, Mike?
Well, the easiest way to say it is I'm having a hell of a lot more fun.
Oh, Mike, you might hurt some people's feelings with that, Mike. I wasn't expecting you to go quite that hard.
No, it's just, there seems to be a lot more maintenance, even though they're so small.
Yeah.
Mainly because of the tires constantly, but we're having a lot of fun with this.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well. It probably is. I mean, we got to give the four-wheel drive guys credit, though, right? From a setup standpoint, there's more involved of a challenge when it comes to a four-wheel drive truck compared to just a mini rod with no suspension, right?
For sure.
For sure. Would you say, from a cost standpoint, do you think you could build 2 mini rods for the cost of one four-wheel drive truck? Like, what do you kind of think that ratio is?
I still think the mini would be a little more.
Okay. Gotcha. It's always interesting to hear from people that have that multi-class perspective like that. So, well, all right, Mike, we're going to wish you the best of luck, and you keeping that thing shiny side up, all right?
Thanks for the call, fellas, and we enjoy watching you every week.
All right.
Thank you, Mike. We'll see you down the road, brother.
Thank you, Mike.
Tell Bryce thanks too. Tell Bryce thanks too.
You too. Yeah, thanks to both of you. See ya. Bye.
Yeah, man, there's got to be something said. A guy coming from four-wheel drive, they're very patient, good drivers. Like, he's been really good ever since he got into the mini rod, but that was maybe the best driving I've ever seen to keep that thing from doing whatever it could have done. I mean, that was, wow. Kudos to him, man. That was amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
We didn't do a good job of noting this, but like mini rod, there was a time we couldn't say this, but like guys that choose to run local or regional are showing out and coming to these bigger events and kicking asses. Like Dusty Price won. I think Mike was like right around the top 5 both days in Evansville. Bryce, who he runs with, like mini rods are there's no easy outing, and like I'll go to Greenwich and I will not get close to the top 5 there, probably because of how tough the competition is.
Well, but, I mean, isn't Ken Venny running some OSTPA stuff now?
Yeah,
he's a state puller. He's a state puller. Yeah,
so if anybody needed any sort of a testament to is there like region pullers or is there Grand National pullers, I mean, that right there shows you the Ken Venny. Oh, yeah, he's just a state puller. Yeah, my ass. I don't think I'm buying that. But, I mean, it's really no different. The Lacey's run so doggone strong. They would whoop up on everybody on the region level. Bruce and I would, we used to show up to a couple of region events, and we would go back and forth with the Lacey's, even when we were running strong. So I don't really buy into that whole state or region tractor anymore. And I feel like it's that way in a lot of classes. It's
just where you show up, man. It doesn't matter where you show up. There's good vehicles wherever you show up at whatever level.
It's where you choose to pull. I already see though in the future, since everything's on the internet now. I think this podcast started that, right?
Sure.
I can see a meme of Tyler with Kim Vinny pulling the track saying, "Oh, it's just a state puller."
Yeah. I think Ken knows better than that. It was fun at Dragway 42. Ken Venny was there, and it was fun catching up, talking to him, because at Dragway 42, I ran some pretty big lug tires, and I feel like for quite a while, Ken Venny and I on the Grand National circuit were the last 2 guys kind of hanging on to this concept of huge lug tires. And every once in a while we'd get one, but for the most part, everybody with lugs a third the size of ours would just be smoking us just every day. And Ken would get 10 throughout the season, and I'd get 1 every 3 years. And I'd be like, yeah, Ken, big lug brothers.
You're making me proud now, though.
Yeah, I'm trying for sure. So
it takes cojones to run big lugs.
Yeah.
Well, it's risk reward. When we were going to run the Saturday in Dragway 42, I told everybody, I said, the last time I ran these tires, I won on Friday and I was laying on my side on Saturday. I said, and now I won on Friday, so we all know what's coming Saturday. I'm going to roll this thing over, and Chase will be my chassis outlawed in another series before you know it. So
I'm really another topic I here want to talk about, like I've lost a little bit of control over Full Pull Live because 2 years ago you guys were doing the commentating, right? It was on Saturday night. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
you all aren't here, and I'm like, hey, we'll just get Adam and Tyler do like a Manning cast, and like they freaking shot that down. It's like, no, Dan Mayer, Miles Krieger, Charles.
You didn't want me to get up. You didn't want me to get up and give the old.
Well, no, I can still go and plug something if y'all just give me a feed. But apparently they're all professional now and doing it in the venue, and I'm all for a no practice podcast cast. But I'm working on that because my immediate answer was Tyler and Adam not coming. They can announce this whole damn show, but I'm still working on that.
I will say, as much fun as Adam and I had doing it, and we would enjoy the thought of doing it again, Charles and Dan do a much better job than Adam and I. But I also would like to say, if Adam and I ever get the opportunity to do it again, I feel like we would be a little bit more polished and be a little bit better at it. So maybe someday, if Dan and Charles are sick, Adam and I will step in.
I'm going to go that trailer and unplug some shit, and I'm going to give you all the feed.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think I'd go that far.
I don't think you want to do that.
Those guys do too good of a job.
I think you all would be good though for the fans, like the Manning cast, right? Adam has great ideas.
That's a new thing, man. That's a hell of an idea. That is definitely a new thing that we're seeing.
Adam, these fan comments, or the fan hotline, which we're getting ready to get to, is said many times. Like, if we could do like a Manning cast, now's the time. Let's do it. Let's get it done.
Hell of an idea.
I'll find the cords to unplug and we'll get it going.
Who's your first celebrity guest, Chase?
For the Manning cast or for the no practice cast?
Yeah.
Like in Tomah?
No, if you were gonna have a celebrity come on, you know how they always have during the quarters, they have their celebrities. Who's the first one you're bringing on?
Well, I don't know that many celebrities, so I gotta talk to somebody. But I think for pulling a great celebrity, if we knew him, would be.
You got to go with your boy Cletus.
I don't think the dude's patient enough to announce it. He's kind of all over the place. Like, I mean, I mean that as a compliment, but I think, Alan Reinhart, honestly, from having knowledge and not just up there just bullshit. I think Alan Reinhart would be a good person to get on to announce with his background. Just my opinion.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Okay. To have some validation of what PK would have at Nipstron. I don't know what that means.
I think that's
a bigger word than I know.
I think that's an abbreviation.
Conniption fit.
The vocabulary on this show is out of hand tonight. But with all that said, our favorite opportunity to bring up the fan hotline questions. I think we had over 20. We had like 20 to 30 nonstop fan questions coming in through the pipe.
This ought to be good.
All right.
We have no idea what these questions
not look at these.
are.
Yeah. I will say, usually I'll get somewhat of a preview because I get on here ahead of time and I try to make sure, we've got somewhat of form and function to this. I don't always see them all, but I don't think any of us have seen any of these this episode. So I think we got roughly 10. Oh, hang on. Checking in from Chase Smith here. $2,500 bonus purse money for the winners of the mini rod and two-wheel drive classes at the Greenwich Firemen's Festival, July 3rd. So there you have it.
Tyler, I was going to ask you too. What are you doing for 4th of July? Because I got to go to Door to run our light mod, and it's only like 20 minutes from you. Or are you going to be somewhere where I can go celebrate the 250th with you?
Excuse me.
I don't know. I might be going to Torch Lake with my boat. I am undecided, but also while you mentioned the Door Summer Sizzler, shout out to Jim Schendorf. He is doing some cool, unique stuff where he's taking, I'm going to get this wrong, but I think it's like top.
We need to probably talk about this.
Yeah, he's taking like the top 3 from each.
He's taking the top 2. So
the top 2. Okay,
yeah.
You know what? To hell with us screwing this up. Let me just make a phone call quick, all right?
There you go. Give Jim a voice.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Jim, it's Tyler. We've got you live on the No Practice podcast. We just brought up the Door Summer Sizzler. I know you guys are doing some kick-ass stuff, a little bit unique, trying to build some excitement. Give us the quick rundown, Jim, on what you guys are doing there. That's awesome.
Okay. You're talking about the redemption round.
Yeah, that's the stuff, Jim. Redemption round. That's a hell of a name already, Jim.
Yeah, kind of redeem herself. So basically, I'm trying to bring back the excitement into polling in a way that is not your typical pull off.
Do tell.
Typically a pull off would be anybody past whatever the full pull line would be. Just say we'll use 300 for instance.
Sure.
And just say Tyler Slaw and Chase Richardson both go past 300.
Whoa, good for Chase.
Yeah, he's gonna get his ass whooped, by Tyler. But, anyways, it'll get to that point, then they come back for a pull off, as soon as the class is over. Well, I have a different philosophy on that because we're all pushing our stuff hard, and I feel it's better for the show if we let things cool down, get things checked over, so on and so forth. So I'm going to have all 5 classes involved, and let's just say that we'll use the mini rod class, for instance, is first the first class on the track. They'll be the first class in the redemption round after the initial 5 classes are over.
Okay.
So they come back for a pull off afterwards for $1,000 to win, and then $200 for second, and that will not affect points whatsoever. Your points will be established on your first pass on the track.
Okay, so it's fair to say we've got these 5 classes. They're obviously going to be ran as a floating finish. I think that's fair, which means you've got 5 classes. Everybody makes 1 pass. Normally, hey, the show would be over, but not at Jim Schindorf's pull. What Jim's going to do, he's going to bring the top 2 back from each class and run them against each other again to see if that seemingly second place guy can get an edge on that first place guy in the redemption round and say, hey, you might have gotten me the first time, but I'm going to kick your ass the second time.
Exactly. And let's just say that, Tyler won and Chase was second, but Chase can't come back or Tyler can't come back, and we're going to drop down to the third place competitor, fourth place, fifth place, sixth place. So no matter what, we're going to have 2. They're going to be competing against each other for that.
I love it.
For that redemption.
Jim, I really appreciate you doing this, and this is all fun. Obviously, you and I have had conversations about this, but can you get the Happy Gilmore checks there? Because if I'm lucky enough to making the top 2 of either, I want one to put in my backdrop with these guys.
Hey, so, Jim, now's the negotiating time. You say, hey, Chase, only if you're not a puss and you bring your mini rod.
No, I'm bringing it. That's what I just said. I'm taking it to Greenwood.
I don't think he's going to be a puss. He's talking about bringing it because he's going to kick my ass.
As long as I don't wreck it here, I'm taking it to Greenwood.
I won it last year.
You did, Jim. I saw that. And I can't talk much crap because I'm being a Mr. Lazy Bones, and I'm going to go sit on my boat 4th of July weekend instead of tractor pulling like a real man. So in all honesty, I'm actually only half the man Chase is. So I gotta own that.
I'm not sure what's going to happen, dude, because I got
only half distance was
slight feeling that Farmer Bruce might be coming to the door.
Well, as you know, Jim, as well as most people know, nobody has the reins on Farmer Bruce. That man does whatever the hell he wants, whenever he wants, and I'm not going to try and convince him of anything whatsoever. So if he wakes up the morning of your pull, he very well may decide at 10:15 in the morning, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to load up and go there. And nobody knows at 9 a.m. what he's going to be doing at 10 a.m. So,
yeah, I know your father very well.
Yeah.
You were correct.
Yes.
And also, I was going to reveal this Monday, but since I'm on the No Practice podcast, I guess I'm all to do it now.
It's a big deal to do it now, Jim.
On top of the $1,000, I have a gentleman here in Door. He has a company called 51 Bravo.
Okay.
And I will release the photos of those Monday on our pages, but I am getting a custom-made knife. Like how they have the belt buckle and everything else. Well, this is going to be a custom-made Door Summer Sizzler knife, one of a kind, for each class. That's etched into the knife blade and everything. You're the pull-off winner on top of the $1,000.
That's awesome. So we've got additional prize money for both competitors in this redemption run, and a custom-made knife on top of that. So nobody's making a second pass for free and doing it for nothing. You kind of got to earn your spot in, and that's how we're going to cap the show off. Jim, I love what you're doing. I love that concept. It's awesome. And it's exciting. And
I need a knife to stab Donald with, so hopefully I can win one of these damn hooks.
Yeah, Chase is going to try and win a knife and commit some violence with it, Jim.
Yeah,
It's premeditated.
Beer can open a bigger hole in the bottom, so maybe he can beat you chugging a beer.
Yeah, there you go. Exclusive Chase Richardson shotgunning knife. All right, awesome, Jim. Thank you. Thanks for your time, Jim. See ya. Bye. All right, there we have it. Once again, just kind of shooting from the hip. Why speculate on how that's going to break down when we can just call Jim?
Yeah.
Anyway, my goodness, we're over an hour. I feel like we've talked about fan questions and we're no fan questions in. Sorry if I interrupted the flow of things there, but just kind of popped in my mind. First fan question.
Are you apologizing to me or Adam? Me and Adam, or the fans? Which ones?
Everyone, in all honesty. I don't really know what happened there, but
thanks for being
I feel
nice
like
once.
Yeah, I'll shut up. I'll go. Yeah, fan questions. Let's go. Even though Bauer built the Decision Maker mini sled, is there a difference in how that sled pulls versus how the Iron Boy sled pulls? Is it how the operator sets it up, or is there a design improvement since the first one? Congrats to Tyler on his fantastic run. Well, we got to congratulate Adam as well. Clearly, this question was written before Adam ran on Saturday. I'm too stupid in the seat personally to tell the difference, but there's two guys on here that are smarter pullers than me, so maybe they could speak to the difference. Adam?
I'm gonna say there are differences. All three sleds that we've pulled, we have the X Factor, a Bauer built sled. You have the Decision Maker, which is a Bauer built sled. You have the Iron Boy, obviously, Bauer built sled. And even the one that went to OSTPA is a Bauer. Now, it's slightly different. No, it's not. It's exactly the same. All four sleds are identical in build that I know of, right?
Okay.
Obviously, grouser bars wear over time. So there's a few things maybe that might be slightly different. But the difference in the sleds, the reason I think they pull differently is because they all have different operators.
Okay.
And I think guys tend to have different ideas on how they operate the sled. For instance, I've noticed on the X Factor sled that the trip has never moved. Like the trip has never been moved on that sled.
How do you know that though?
Well, you can look at it because there's not a single. I think it's a 1/4 inch or a 5/16 bolt that locks it down on a rail, and there's 0 marks on the rail. There's
now,
one
come
mark.
On. It's got to be bigger than a 1/4 inch.
Is it?
I don't know. Well, I feel like they wouldn't trust just a single 5/16.
Okay, sorry, 5/16, 5/16 or 3/8. 5/16 or 5/16 or 3/8. Well, I know it. You can see it. If you look at some of the other sleds, the trip moves. Each operator moves the box, runs different gearing, different pan pressure. It's a different theory what they think is how that sled works. I can just say, for instance, that the X Factor sled, they've only moved the trip one time. And how long have they had that sled? It was actually purchased by somebody else before them. Maybe they moved it. But if you look at it, it's never been moved.
That's impressive if that's true, Adam. That's quite a statement there.
Go up and look at it, Tyler. It's very interesting.
I feel like we got to break it down for Chase and explain to him what the trip is, Adam.
Well,
maybe that's what you need to do.
I'm just kidding. Chase, tell us what the trip does with the sled.
I need to be educated on all this. I'm not a track expert. I'm not a sled expert. We're a trip is sled expert. Just try to focus on data from year to year at certain places and how to get the vehicle moving as fast as I can.
Well, what's the other part of the equation? The sled. The sled's very important to pay attention to.
I'm not an expert in it like you are, Adam. So I'm just.
I'm not an expert in anything. It's just like over time, I
did not mean it like you're an expert. No, I take that back. I don't know like you do in like the trip. If we're looking at scuff marks on a trip, I don't.
So basically, there's a lockdown bolt on the trip that runs the length of the rails of the sled. You can move it forward or backwards if you want and it operates the pan pressure. When it crosses over the trip, it pushes down on the back of the pan and it drives it in the ground. Now you can have it set up at this point. So maybe a guy wants to run the box in the same gear all the time, or he wants to block the box out so it gets to the front faster. Maybe the guy, instead of moving the trip, just changes the speed of the box, or where it's blocked at, and doesn't move the trip. Where other guys may just move the trip and leave everything else alone. So I'm going to say there is a slight difference, but they're all phenomenally built well sleds. The sleds are built well. And
I think we'd all agree that
they're safe.
Mini rods are the most finicky vehicles in pulling. Like, one little change makes the vehicles act totally different. So
Sure.
We're all saying the same thing. I think they're all different. I think, as Adam said, it's the operator is probably more of the factor more than the sled is.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like, you've got people like Chase and I that hardly know the difference. And Adam, while not claiming to be an expert, is saying they are set up drastically different, whether it's bringing the box up faster, the starting position of the box, and then, of course, like he says, that trip, which is actually, you'll see the back wheels of the sled lift off the ground, so 100% of the weight is on the pan of the sled, with those grouser bars digging into the track like
And
that.
I'm not
That being said, I don't know what the hell that stuff does. Obviously, it stops you shorter or lets you go longer, but I don't know what makes it do that.
Well, all I know is that if a mini rod does not take off fast, it does not put on as good of a show as it could. Like,
You're right.
However we can get going to 100 feet fast, I think is what the fans see the value in, and they don't realize that, but we do, because if these things don't launch well, they're just not fun to watch. But
that's a fact. Hey, fun fact. Speaking of launching speed at the starting line, Saturday at Farley, my tractor was almost 2 mile an hour faster than Bruce's overall, and Bruce still beat me by a foot.
That's crazy.
Isn't that a strange statistic behind tractor pulling?
Yeah.
And what's wild is I'm pretty sure we know why or what made that difference. So just kind of came to mind talking about the whole shot and the speed and the difference on that. All right, we got a fan question here on the bottom. How different are the mini rod sleds in Europe, since minis are unlimited over there? I'm fairly certain Vaughn built the mini sled that is over in Europe.
I don't know the difference in pounds and what do they use over there? They don't use pounds. What do they use?
Kilograms.
I don't know kilograms.
Yeah, the crazy thing that I've heard, and I've never seen this personally, but they have something called a block saver. So they have an extra block on the front of the sled so the box doesn't go as far forward. Because I think years ago they had one go over the front of the rails.
No.
So they moved the thing back. So that has to obviously create its own challenges on how to operate the sled.
Interesting standpoints for sure. And one thing is, I'm going to have to check and see what size piece of hardware is hanging that trip thing on the sled, and I'm going to report
3/8
back.
or 5/16.
Man, I feel like that's got to be at least a half 13. That's a very crucial portion that can't come loose.
I'm going to do a case study.
You know what? You know why? Because it's got to fit in Von Bauer's pocket. I'm telling you, it could be a 1/4 inch, a 5/16, or a 3/8, nothing bigger.
Fair enough. All right, great question. Good input from Mr. Adam. I'm glad one of us here had a knowledgeable piece of input on that. Let's roll.
One of us was an expert.
Yeah, let's roll into the next question here. All right, this is just a picture of Adam with his check, having a good time there.
So, I didn't get that one.
Oh, that must be just a fan submission to the line.
Fan submission here.
Hang on, I feel like the backstory
that gentleman.
Adam said, "Hey, send this to the text hotline to show Chase."
Did not.
As I got
did not.
20 of these.
Did not.
I'm kidding. I love it.
I will say that's the gentleman that gave me a Busch Light Lime, so I'm glad his paths crossed with Adam as well. So
yeah, he's a customer. Right hey, no, he's a customer of mine.
The sun's coming up, and Adam said, "Hey, man, text us a hotline to show Chase."
No, Chase. I met this guy. He's a customer of mine, and he's got a damn Noonan hat on. I'm like, what are we doing?
I didn't see
that. Oh, Adam, you should have had some hats on you. You take that Noonan hat off of him and give him the old NBR.
Yeah, he's like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Text to the hotline. That's what I'm going to start doing now. I meet somebody at 3 a.m. Hey, man, let's text to the hotline.
I did not tell this individual to do that. That's bullshit.
No, we got to honor our
I love it.
fans.
All right,
No,
next question, or this show is going to be 3 hours. All right. And okay, question: why is there not a limit or a way to make the mini class other than a Hemi or Minor Bros show? Also, why don't they increase the weight to 2100 to make it more controllable? Thank you, Mr. TC. P.S. Love your guys' show. Very funny and enjoyable. Well, thank you,
Who's
sir.
Mr. TC? We love you too.
It's Mr. TC. We love him too. We thank you for tuning in.
I got you.
Yeah. Chase, thanks for catching up there.
It's one of these nights.
Go ahead, Tyler. What's your input on heavier mini rod weight?
Okay, heavier mini rod weight. I think that is going to put us in a worse situation than what we are right now. And what I mean by that is if you give the mini rods more weight, we are going to hook power in harder, which is going to be harder on driveline. And I feel like the mini rods are at a perfect position right now where honestly driveline is livable. Yes, we have driveline failures. They do exist. I feel like it's gotten a little bit better since people got away from the 106 rear ends, went to more of the planetary style reduction, but you do still occasionally see people break a ring and pinion. I feel like, we've seen some breakages in the driveline in the mini rod class already this year, I think down in Florida. Yeah. So if you start giving guys more weight, and let's be real, we often weigh 2,100 anyway. So now if you make the class 2,100, we're going to weigh 2,150. Now, instead of having one guy every 2 events break a rear end, you're going to have 2 guys every event break a rear end. And I don't think we're going to put on as good of a show because everybody's just going to keep their front ends down, make a nice little tame A to B pass, and the risk-reward balance is going to be lost. And what I mean by that is oftentimes in the mini rod class, people are running a lower hitch knowing they may have a little bit of a loss when it comes to competitive advantage, but it's going to make a more consistent A to B pass. Or when you have a real idiot like me that says, I'm just going to run my hitch all the way up because I don't know any better, then I go out there and wreck and everyone loves it and they want to come back next year to see that stupid Amish man roll his tractor over again. So if you make the class 2,100, I don't think it's going to put on a better show. I think people are going to break more driveline. Then you're going to have a class with less numbers. I just don't think that's the move, in all honesty. Adam, what are your thoughts?
It's kind of funny. There is a little bit of distinction depending on where you run, like what things weigh, and it does bring a level of excitement. And I think we've seen that even at the same events, depending on what scale you weigh on. Like,
oh yeah,
this is the number we're weighing. It's like, oh shit, like I better not eat lunch today.
I know, right?
Like,
I joked with Bob Boyd that when we don't have much extra weight, if I go across the scales, I don't even want to sit down in the porta-john before I run because I've weighed all that in. I want to take it down the track,
baby. X-Lax.
Yeah.
Or Fireball and Red Bull at 5 a.m. does the same thing.
Can you give details?
Chase,
we need to hold that for another show.
Yeah, sorry about that. Chase, give us your input on a 2,100-pound mini rod class. What does that look like in Chase Richardson?
Saturday porter pot testimonials after Red Bull and vodkas at 5 a.m. But look, I at Macville on Friday, I had to take 40 pounds off my tractor, which we went to Florida and Evansville. Like it was like a drastic change, and I didn't change anything. And the scales were on like soft. Like it wasn't concrete or blacktop. It was like a soft road grade material. And like I think we all have our theories on how finicky sleds can be. But like to be truthful, I think the solution is mini rods need their own scale. I know that's not realistic. I don't want to suggest doing that. But like we have our own sled. We're so small, and we all know like if one mini rod stops at this part of the scale versus that part of the scale, they probably have an advantage. Probably the right way to fix this is give us our own scale. It's very compact and small. That gives us a true measurement. But I think the beauty of the class is the freaking unknown. And like, dude, these guys, they're swinging 100 pounds one way to the other. And like 100 like 40 pounds at the front of the mini rod. What percentage of that? I did the math.
Yeah,
that's like 10% of the front end weight.
Chase, that's what we did when you went from Evansville to Dragway 42. I had to take 50
I didn't
pounds.
get invited to that poll. I didn't get invited to that poll, but I heard about
50
it.
pounds. Yeah. Like I'm going, I don't have any more than that to take off. I'm like, oh my god!
I'm convinced because this is my personal theory in the notes. Whenever it's hot and humid with a mini rod, not other vehicles, with a mini rod, when it's hot and humid, you have to strip weight off of it. On Saturday, there was an overcast. It was more like the conditions before. I put all that weight. I think I put 30 pounds back on it. You don't sit there and argue with the tech official because they're just doing their job.
No.
You just know whenever you sign up to run this class is what you got to deal with.
Well, you don't, but there are people out there that have
don't get me started on that.
Chase, what do you mean by that?
I mean, look, tech officials are like referees in sports. They make the freaking calls, and like sometimes they just got to freaking make them. And if you don't like it, then
that's what it's told.
Decision, right? Yeah.
Okay. Well, Chase, now that you've given us a hot update on the softness of the soil at a pull with a scale, can you tell us your thoughts on if the class would be better or worse at 2100?
I think you just say 2050.
2050. Okay, but you don't want to tell why.
Well, because when we get to 2100, the next thing is going to say, should we make it 2150? It's going to be the same thing.
That's true. It's a slippery slope, is what Chase is saying.
Sorry, I rambled for 10 minutes about something that.
No, it's okay. I wanted to hear your thoughts. I had to bring it back.
I used to see you all the time. I don't see you anymore. We only get together now. So.
Yeah, indeed. Okay. As far as the first part of Mr. TC's question here, why is there not a limit or a way to make the mini class other than a Hemi or a Minor Brothers engine? I don't know how you would necessarily limit that. But what is a shame is I feel like whenever somebody does step out of the normal confines and boundaries of the rule set there, and they build something that technically meets the rules, eventually we see it get shut down. And what I'm getting at by this is you guys all know Mr. Gene Zeltner, the One Piece at a Time.
Yeah.
Well, they had passed a rule talking about the maximum bore space limit being a maximum of 4.9 inches. And he runs a turbocharged
with the factory crank
Cadillac. Yeah, with a factory crank. And he runs a turbocharged Cadillac. And I might be getting this wrong, but I know it's over 4.9. I think it's a 5-inch bore space. Does that sound right, Adam?
I don't know. I thought the Cadillac. I could be wrong. It's a big black caddy.
Okay. Well, I could be wrong, but I think it's over 4.9. And originally he was told he would be grandfathered in, which honestly, I love that idea because that guy has shown up. He's run hard. He has supported events. And, we all get it. He doesn't exactly go out there and kick everybody's butt. But, man, I love watching somebody trying to work through a combination that is their own. It's unique. It's different.
Nobody.
I feel like the crowd. I feel like the crowd loves it. It's unique, right? He's got this single huge turbocharger feeding this custom one-off Cadillac motor.
Somebody working hard to try to make something work, right?
Yeah, and I heard that somebody got a hold of him, and he reached out to me, and he said that he's been told he's not grandfathered in anymore. He can still run that, but if somebody complains, he's not going to be able to run it anymore.
Well, if somebody complains, I'm going to kick him, and then you know where.
This podcast.
Right,
this podcast can get the message out.
That sucks. Gene should be able to run that frickin' tractor till the day he dies. I don't care if he figures it out and he kicks everybody's ass by 50 foot. He should be able to win however many pulls he showed up to and somebody else kicked his ass before they changed the rules.
Chase, you might remember this statement because I think...
There you go. 5-inch bore space. Jason Webb said.
Yeah.
5-inch bore space.
Yep.
So.
He's a 5-inch bore space, big black caddy. With the stock,
yeah,
it has the stock crankshaft in it too. See, that was a big thing there for a while, but like there were some comments made. In the right hands, that may be unbeatable. You know what? Let the guy go, right? Like Gene Zeltner has been pulling as long as I've been pulling. The difference is he's completely built everything by hand himself. Like
it's America. This dude's American.
Yes.
And to be clear, like even when I say like, oh, I built my own chassis, I am nothing compared
to
to
he built his own engine.
I guess
Gene built,
but not us.
He built the engine block is a one-off, the intake, even his planetary rear end, I think is modeled after like a corporate 14-bolt, 10.5-inch ring gear. He's doing everything different, just like this question's saying, why is there not a limit so that it's just Hemis? Because if you build something different, somebody's going to come along and shut you down, and that sucks.
Well,
we can't be doing that.
If we want to do that, we might as well all run the same damn vehicle.
Yeah, that's silly. So yes, I agree with Michael. Let the Turbo Caddy cook. He should be able to run that till the day he dies. Gene, you've got the support of the No Practice podcast.
That's right.
I'd like to follow that one closely.
Yeah. Chase, why don't you follow up on that? And
I'll change that rule like I changed yours, right?
Yeah, thank you. Chase, if you can get my unique chassis outlawed, you can save Gene's motor, and I'll quit bringing up how you got my chassis outlawed. Is that a deal?
Good people, Tyler.
Okay, I understand. All right, next question. What else we got here? Why does it seem like promoters / safety officials don't have the alcohol alcohol resistant extinguishers that spray foam rather than a typical one that uses a powder? I had heard Rich Schaefer say that after the whole Doug Theobald incident
that was brought up on this podcast. They watch this podcast and they got the idea.
Yeah, NTPA was going to be getting some different extinguishers that were appropriate for alcohol to try to prevent the Doug Theobald / Doc Christensen thing ever happening again. Is that true, Chase?
I can't confirm that.
Definitely happened.
Say I haven't watched.
What's that?
I said I didn't watch any podcasts or anything. I can't confirm that, but I can believe that probably was said. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you see Rich walking by tonight, flag him down and get to the bottom of that, and that will hopefully answer that question that people are going to do better. They know it's a problem.
I think everyone wants to make this right. I don't think anybody's screwed. I don't think anybody is saying let's burn this fucker to the ground like they're.
I'm willing to say that this year that's going to be fixed, if not already fixed for Tomah.
No, I think it was because I think there was a small fire at the very next event, and they were right on top of it. The fire.
Look at that.
The crew people were out there. The firefighters were out there. There was training. There was run throughs. They were on the spot.
We can all have our opinions on track building organizations, how things operate, but I don't think anyone wants to burn a tractor to the ground. So
no.
I think everyone will learn these things.
I did have an interesting tidbit that somebody told me at Farley. They said that they didn't want to be named, but they told me in the firefighting industry, what you are taught is to walk calm and with purpose and do not rush. And so they told me that when you're at a tractor pull and you see the fire people calmly walking towards a fire, that it is in their training because they are on restricted oxygen when they enter a scenario going into a house and things like that, that it is almost a flex to show that you are calm, cool, and collected in the moment while approaching the issue, but not sprinting, running, and spazzing. And I thought that was kind of interesting because I've thought to myself, like, man, this guy, albeit he's walking over there, like, pick up the pace, man. But those firefighters have been taught to walk slowly with purpose.
I think we challenged that last show, not because we're not experts, but like, man, they were just walking up there. But I guess that's
well, yeah. And so I was glad he pulled me aside and he said, hey, just so you know, when you go through training, this is what that looks like. And I'm like, you know what? I'm glad you said that. If the opportunity comes up, I'm going to bring that up. So, all right. I feel like we covered that question. What else we got here? Also in Region 2, a new point structure was put into place where you could drop 6 hooks to help lighten the heavy schedule. As of now, in order to win the top spot to be qualified for the Mitas All-Star / Inderly, the schedule has 21 hooks out of a total of 24 for the season. The schedule has 21 hooks out of a total 24 for the season. Well, I don't quite understand. Maybe
they're already 3 hooks in. Maybe
okay.
I don't know. Maybe I don't understand it, but 24 hooks a season is a lot. I mean,
It is.
For anything.
And I have to say, on the regional side, everybody's like, "Oh, it's so hard to run the Grand National or the Champions Tour circuit and all that stuff." Like, we get to go to a lot of 2-day events. Those region hooks are all single-day events.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about? I guess the meat of this question, in my opinion, is what do you guys think about the concept of being able to drop 6 hooks
I think
to put together a point season?
I don't think
I
it's
don't know.
necessarily meaning drop 6 hooks. It's just your 6 worst finishes, which means like you can have 6 zeros, so to speak. If somebody wants to be hardcore and run them all and be that committed, I guess it'd be their worst 6 finishes or their 6 no shows. I think is what the interpretation of this is, but I might be wrong.
It's an interesting concept.
Well, from a promoter standpoint, I would think that would have to be very scary to think that
Yeah.
you don't know who's going to show up at each event. That's the whole reasoning behind, I think, a point structured circuit is that if people are competing for the grand prize, that they have to submit to all the things. Now, whether that schedule is long or short, I mean, that's their prerogative. I mean, there's obviously all kinds of different choices to do depending on your budget and location and all that stuff. But like, I don't necessarily think that's a good idea. I mean, I do think like the Outlaws get to drop 2, but they run a very heavy circuit too. 6 seems like a lot.
Yeah, I could see a structure like this working if people still had to be there. But if you can just not show up, like you say, from a promoter standpoint, if you know that you have a pull kind of the furthest away from the epicenter of everything going on, where a lot of the pullers are centrally located, I feel like that people are going to be like, oh, well, sure, I'm bringing in the such and such class, and there's 9 of those guys running for points, but they're probably going to take my pull as a drop, and I'm going to have 2 tractors show up that, get first and second and get a nice finish there for points. But it's I like the thought of something different like that, but I'm not so sure how the execution of that's going to go. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays
I haven't put a lot of thought in this, but like thinking through this and hearing y'all's comments with it, which you all both make valid points for the first time all day. I think whenever you open the door, like to make it easier to jump in, you'll probably get more vehicles participating. So to Adam's point, the immediate knee jerk is it'll hurt promoters, but I think it is right if the numbers stay the same. But I think doing stuff like this, it would increase your overall numbers, but that's my speculation, not knowledge.
Well,
right?
that is a fair point. As I think about that further, you might have some guys that say, listen, I can't make it to 24 hooks because I've got a wedding on this weekend and a family outing on this weekend, but I could make it to 20. And now all of a sudden with this rule popping up, he says, hey, where I maybe would have gone to 8 of those 24 events, guess what? I'm going to 19 of the 24 now because I can still put together a point series.
Yeah,
it's true.
No,
I totally understand that. I totally understand that.
That will be
the story will be told in this. I think it's a valid question, and we all made valid for once.
So here's the second point of that question, and maybe we get into this later. If they're now allowing Grand National competitors to drop down to the region, then there's a chance that those guys can win 2 circuits.
Ooh. Oh, you can only drop a hook that you attend. Chuck Hobbs getting in there clearing that up for us. So that's interesting.
Seems like there's a lot of not understanding on this. To Adam's point, if you want to go to freaking all these Grand National pools and that, kudos to you. I think that's badass. You want to run a regional and Grand National, but honestly, there's only like 5 or 6 classes this affects because half the Grand National classes aren't even regional classes, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just saying, like, it's a very hard thing to. I mean, obviously, I think there's a question about what needs to be done to help the region, right? Like that's kind of like the big thing. So whatever they do, it's going to be kicked back on one side or accepted on the other, and there's going to be people fighting between the things. It's just finding the best resolution for everybody is the common goal.
Fire extinguishers. I don't think anyone's trying to melt a vehicle to the ground. I don't think anyone's trying to screw up regional polling. It just let the story be told, I guess, right?
Yeah.
You know what I think would be funny that kind of builds on a further point from earlier in the show? If you had a guy like, let's say Chase, he runs region and Grand National, and Chase wins the Grand National points but gets third in the region points. That's possible, as tough as region is. Can you imagine how funny that would be?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be hilarious.
Everybody knows it doesn't matter where you show up; every vehicle is good.
Right.
We know it's not me, Rod, because I can't win a Grand National meet, Rod.
Not with that attitude, brother. My dad said, if you're going to have that attitude, you might as well stay your ass at home.
I'll never forget those words. You said, if you don't think you can win this pool, just take her back to the trailer, I think was the word you told me one time.
That's right.
I love it. I feel like there is somewhat of pulling out there and having the right mindset for sure. So, all right. Sounds like we've got some things to learn on that question, but that'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yep.
Next question here. Chris from Wisconsin again, just wondering if the price Tyler threw out on his frame on Friday night is the true number. Believe he said he had $400 invested. Congrats on the great weekend, Tyler. Adam, did Chase get lost on the way there?
I love these questions.
If Tyler threw out on his frame, I think he's talking about my winner's circle interview. Basically what I said, because Leslie said some sort of comment about, feeling pretty confident or feeling good about how the season's starting. And I know better than to think I actually know what I'm doing. So what I said was my confidence level equals my dollars invested in this, which is an absolute zero, because I can't afford to do any of this. Bruce pays for everything. So in all honesty, I get these fake checks, but I don't get 1 cent of the actual check. And there was a bunch of people teasing Bruce about that. But if I had the option to say, okay, I can keep the prize money and I can get this tractor for free, but I have to pay and maintain it, I am not stupid. That's going to be a worse off money scenario. We'll just keep the program going how it is, where Bruce pays to maintain it. He can keep the prize money, and I'll just sit here, and some uninformed people will think I'm actually affording this on my own, which I try to make it very clear that I'm not. So, yeah, I don't even have $400 invested into this, Chris. I'll be perfectly honest. All I have invested is just an absolute ton of my free time and putting a lot of things in my life on hold to continue to do this. But that's really not.
That being said, I'll help this guy out with the question. If you maybe add a zero to that $400, you might be able to pick up a chassis that you could throw a motor in. I don't know. I'm just saying, it never hurts to ask a guy. Hey, you take $4,000 for that? All they can say is no, right?
Take $4,000 for what? What am I buying?
Chassis. You said we buy a chassis frame. Tyler threw out his frame.
Oh, the price Tyler threw out on his frame on Friday night is the true number.
Adam, they asked you if I got lost on the way there. No, I did not get lost. I've been there more than Adam and Tyler. I was just not a part of the party this year. What is it whenever you're like a middle schooler and you don't get invited to a party, but everyone's like, oh, we didn't get invited to the party? That's what I felt like.
Chase, I want you to come run the Champions Tour and get into the Fenton High Stakes next year.
Oh, is that in writing?
Yes.
Let me see it. Let me see it in writing, then we'll talk about it. Let's get them on. Did y'all ever get them on the show? Can we get them on here and talk about it?
I'm pretty sure for the umpteenth time, for people don't understand, if you finish in the top 5, you're going to get a bid to get into that series.
So umpteenth time. Hang on. How many times we talking about this?
Oh, everybody. Well, we're not, but like there's Facebook has definitely thrown a bunch of, well, I guess I'll never get in. Show up.
Well, I know, but how can you feel comfortable about wanting to get into it if you don't know the real path that was it to get into it this year?
I don't know, dude.
I don't know, Chase. You still apply to the farm show every year, don't you?
I do. Yeah, you're right.
Well, there you have it. All right. Well, next question. Tyler and Adam, y'all had great runs last weekend. Tyler, congratulations on an impressive win. Chase, Evansville was a great pull. I've been reading the comments on the track Friday night, and they're a little chippy. I can remember photos from the 90s looking that way with the dirt everywhere, and it did look cool. The track wasn't terrible, but it wasn't very good to the two-wheel drive class. Love the show and looking forward to a great summer of pulling.
Well, that's interesting because we're talking about Evansville, but there was 0 two-wheelers there. So
I'm not really sure. I'm kind of confused in this question.
Well, I don't know that there was a single question mark I'd slip in any there. I think this guy's just kind of checking in, saying congrats to Adam and I. And
90s, Farleywood didn't have a pull in the 90s. Whoever this is, please send it back.
Yeah.
You know, excellent attempt at a fan question here. We're going to need you to kind of retool that in a different format. We thank you for your contribution, but yeah, we're going to run that question back.
So I don't even know where to take this.
I think it's Evansville is what he's saying.
Yeah, but he said it wasn't very good to the two-wheel drive class, but there wasn't two-wheel drives there. Yeah. So I'm kind of confused by the question.
I know I'm bad with big words and math, but I can't figure this one out.
Was there a pull at Dragway 42 in the 90s? Is that what he's saying?
Whoever this is, please fire back. And
please redo this question if you don't mind, because we'd like to get to it and answer what you're getting at here. But I think we're all struggling with this one.
Yeah, this is part of not previewing the questions, which at time leads you to some good organic moments. Yeah. But unfortunately for this fellow's question, he's going to have to modify that. He's going to send it back to 270-681-0509, and we're going to tackle this in 2 weeks. So let's roll right into the next question here. Can you explain the alcohol fires in the pits? We can never get ours to light. Thanks, JP. Adam, you're the master at this.
I don't know about that. Explain the alcohol fires in the pits. We can never get ours to light. Oh, that means they're burning or they're
tell them to get some black.
They're trying to light up beer and vodka, and I guess what I'm getting from this. They're diesel pullers.
So here's what you do.
They're diesel pullers.
Oh, is JP a diesel puller?
It has to be.
I thought that's the videos.
Okay.
Yeah, alcohol fires and pits. We never get ours to light because they're drinking alcohol. They're not burning it.
Yeah. So basically, what you do is you go over to Billy Beer's trailer. All right, when he's super hammered, and you offer him $50 for one of his 5-gallon jugs of methanol. And you say, Billy, I'll bring it back in 30 minutes. And then back at your campsite, you've got a keg with the top cut off of it. You dump all of Billy's methanol into that keg. You light a shop rag and you throw it in there. And that's going to burn for about 3 to 5 hours. And then you just carry Billy's jug back to him. Unfortunately, when you're back at Billy's trailer, you're going to start cracking a couple of cold ones. Next thing you know, by the time you get back to your trailer, all the methanol's gone and you wasted $50, but you got to drink 18 beers with Billy Beers. It'll be a great time.
Thanks for your analytical explanation, Tyler. Next question.
Adam, can you please explain your comments on the track conditions in PPL versus NTPA? You mentioned that you would rather deal with a dry track than being treated like shit.
This is getting juicy.
It looks like you have deleted that comment and are running away from it.
Not true.
So why don't you talk about it? You mentioned that you shouldn't have a dick measuring contest, and then you go on comparing the two leagues.
What? Okay.
Love the show. Hate your comments.
Yeah, well, obviously you're going to have fans and you're going to have people that don't like you, and that's fine. I don't care. But I'm going to tell you a little story. A really good friend of mine told me when I turned 40 years old, you find out who your friends are. And being treated like shit isn't necessary. I'm glad for this question, really, honestly. Being treated like shit
I sent it in.
it's a figure of speech, people. So you travel around with this circus for your entire life. I'm 40 years old. I've been doing it my entire life. And there's people in that pit that have been there for a long time that are friends or so-called friends. And whether they're pullers or promoters or they're anybody from the vast spectrum that shows up to a tractor pull. And over the years, you think these people are your friends. They're cordial to you. They talk to you nice, but as soon as you walk away, they talk to you or talk about you. You know, the amount of people that this has happened to, maybe not just me. Maybe there's somebody else with their own dealings and whatnot. But when I say that, I've been doing this my entire life, and I thought there was people out there that were my friends. And I'm a big boy. I run an engine business. You get shit on all the time. It's constantly a battle between two organizations. It's constantly a battle whether you run a Minor Brothers engine, a Noonan engine, a Hemi engine of any sort. So, but I appreciate when somebody will just come up to my face and say they don't like me or they don't like my product or you've done me wrong or you've done this, instead of the minute you walk away, they talk about you. And I know because my real friends will actually tell me whenever they are talking about you. And it comes to a point when you get fed up with it, and I'm fed up with it. So if there's line draws in the sand, maybe before you just take your own readings from Facebook comments or whatever, you run around the pit and you find out what's going on, you'll figure out why I say the things I do. If you'd like to come to my trailer, I'll explain to you what I mean.
Oh, man. That got heavy.
Dun, dun, Adam, so basically, I think what this person's asking, this is not an organization thing. It's just like a clicky thing, right? Like people in the pits, or is this like
people? What does every event consist of? There's equipment, there's venues, there's this, but all in all, there's people. And if I wanted to drag my stuff around all summer long, and these people that you hang out with every weekend are fake as fuck at times, or they talked about you behind your back, or hey, and dude, it doesn't matter what organization I'm talking about. It could be anything from any organization. So yeah, whenever it's guys, I'll put up a dry track over being treated like shit, that's a figure of speech, but we're competitors. We all got to get down the same track. It doesn't matter if it's good, bad, or indifferent, but when you go around all summer long and you spend as much time doing this as I do, I want to be around real people, real friends. So thank you to the person that told me when I turn 40 years old, I'll figure out who my real friends are. You were exactly right.
Dang.
Does that mean you can get me in the high stakes next year?
Hey, dude, what I'm doing in tractor pulling, here's what I do. I think this is my thing on it. I think I have respectable equipment. I try to present myself professionally. I am indebted into the sport. My livelihood depends on it.
Yeah, no, for
sure.
Like
you guys are the only people I know. So whenever things start messing around with that, you start getting a little touchy about it, and I'm a little touchy about it. So thank you for your.
I would like to think I'm one of your best friends. I'm just saying, hypothetically,
you are. Yes.
Whenever we put ourselves out there, we all do for these questions, and we open it. Hey, if you got a question, ask us. And you know, I could go on a tangent about my feelings of how the pits are at one organ.
It's a bunch of drama. You know what? We're supposed to have fun doing this shit. And you come home and your wife goes, Man, all it is drama all the damn time. And yeah,
Adam,
it's
this is
bullshit.
what I'm telling you as a friend. Don't yell at me.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
We created this podcast. We created this infrastructure of people love this. We put ourselves out there. We got to take it, baby. Like, we got to take it.
I do. Big boy, come to my trailer. I'll tell you about it.
Well,
that's fair. I feel like you offered a reasonable explanation there that it's not necessary. Well, I mean, we all say, right? This sport, what keeps us coming back is the people, right?
Perfect.
I mean, we can get on here and talk about Adam winning damn near $40,000 in prize money at the first two events, but let's be honest, Adam, that's not what's going to keep you coming back.
The people.
It's nice, but the people is what it's all
generally
about.
try to keep the podcast all about the growth of polling, and whether if others want to admit it or not, polling has grown the last few years. It's not where it needs to go, but it has grown about the same time this podcast started. But boys, I could do a whole show on figuring out who your friends are. like since I've been involved in this world of the business side of polling, like, bro, you want to talk about cutthroat? Like, you want to talk about real cutthroat shit? Like, I would not have got myself into this if I know what was ahead. But like, we're here now, so like, you know, we love it. We're here because we're passionate about it, all three of us. So are the people that I work with, and like, just take it with open arms.
There you go.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, we know that there's no such thing as bad tracks, just bad setups. That's the moral of that story right there.
And as far as measuring dicks, I think I'd be in real trouble if we did that on the show. But next question.
Yeah, Bob Boyd's got that wrapped up. So anyway,
now that we
save the best question for last, huh?
Oh, yeah. I told you I sent that in, Adam. We have a very special guest to get off these.
Thank you for letting me air that out publicly. I mean,
well, thank you for airing
another
that.
20 of them, and I think Kinsey just wanted to really get you going, Adam, at the end. So you need to talk to her after.
Yep.
But for those of you that are still tuned in after that midday soap opera of a question, and thank you for the fans that sent them in. I got a fellow mini rod puller here with me, Mr. Butch Poland. Feels like all we do
is a much better story.
All we do is document and comment on mini rod pulling, but I can't help but a few things. Adam and Tyler both know you, but I've got to know you more this summer. You guys and your Canadian crew have been running the circuit with us, and most importantly, you just came off a big win last weekend. So welcome to the No Practice Podcast. These guys are only friends with me because of the podcast. We were in Florida having a good time together. Like, dude, we love the podcast. They were actually there watching it behind the scenes. So, Butch, thank you for joining us. Cheers to you, and tell everybody who you are.
It's great to be on here, guys.
Can y'all hear him?
No, we got to get his mic turned on.
Is that better, guys?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh yeah, perfect.
That is better.
Well, it's nice to be on here. I've been watching you guys from the beginning, and it's pretty exciting. Never thought we'd be on here. So, Dan's bringing me a chair in here.
Chair and beer.
The voice of Poland. Thank you.
Yep, Butch, you know you're doing life right when Dan Mayer brings you a chair for you to talk tractor pulling to the people, and Dan goes and sits back down. How many people can say that?
He's eating hot dogs back there. He's having fun. So
he's not eating hot dogs. He's doing Butch Light curls.
So no, it's been awesome, guys. I mean, last week was we didn't even expect. We never thought we'd win one here. So it's been a lot of fun, and it's kind of setting in a little bit this week. We're just out having fun tractor pulling. I mean, it's a whole different world down here for the mini class than it is back home. So we've been watching you guys for years, and we come down once in a while, but we really sucked for a long time. So we're trying to get things together and get A to B, and got lucky enough to get a win there Friday night. So,
well, I can tell you right now, Adam and Taro both confirm this. Like, if you do this class and you're very serious about it for a long time, you will suck at certain points. So I don't think you guys suck. I think you're pretty awesome. Tell us about where you're from in Canada. There's multiple, what they call it, Tyler or Adam, provinces. Is that right?
Yeah, multiple provinces.
So tell us about Canadian pulling. I think it's pretty big, but
yeah, I mean, so we're kind of halfway between Detroit and Buffalo, kind of right in the middle. So we pull with a few clubs up there. the mini class up there just hasn't been the same since COVID. Especially, we kind of shifted to the Hemis. We run small blocks up there for years and had a lot of fun. But I mean, we watched you guys and want to do more, right? You always want more. So yeah, we're pretty competitive too. But like we pull, like I guess one guy gave us some pretty good advice. Tom LaRue one day, he goes, "All right, they know you guys can drink. Now show them you can pull." So
what a mentor to look up to that guy, right?
Yeah, he's helped us a lot over the years, and he actually called me Friday night. He goes, "All right, now they're going to hate you because you won." So,
well, we hate you so much you brought in this podcast. There's 4 of you guys from Canada that kind of run together, right?
Yeah. So my brother-in-law Ryan, he rides with us when he can. He's back and forth sometimes. So he pulled last weekend, but he's not down here this weekend. He went back home. But the Lacey's come down a bit, so they've helped us a lot over the years. I mean, they're great Region 2 pullers.
Yeah, we were just talking about them earlier in the show.
Yeah, they're good guys. So yeah, let's kind of hang out with those guys a bit. So,
Butch, I heard somebody trying to say that you were the first Canadian mini rod puller, I think, to win a Grand National pull. Is that true?
That's actually what Dan Mayer told me. I had no idea.
It's questionable if he says
so.
That, right?
I have no idea. If it is, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, we get to hang on to that forever if that's the case.
Nobody can take that away from you.
Yeah, you're really going to have to tease Dave Lacey about that, because as strong as those guys run, 5 years ago, if I could have made a bet, I would have put $100 on it that David Lacey would be the first guy from Canada to win a Grand National mini pull. And my God, you beat him to it, Butch. How does that feel?
Pretty good. Actually, I was talking to him and Joe today. They called me and they were asking me some stuff and gave some congratulations. And I said, well, it should have been you, not me. What's going on here, David?
Well, so. I can give since Butch is so professional and he's not used to the no practice podcast requirement. Like after they won the other night, I was over in the pits talking to him. Not necessarily Butch, but some of the crew, like, yeah, we've been telling Lacey, you pussies, you need to come out here and run the Grand National, guys. But we did it, now we won. But in all fun and games, these are all good friends and great groups of guys. And as we said earlier, the mini rod class is growing from fandom, but like the amount of competitors stepping in. And you guys from Canada, you're planning on running, essentially, I guess you at this point, running the whole circuit as much as you can, or what's your plan?
Yeah, our plan was we were going to decide at Tomah. That was our original plan in the winter, and we've been doing pretty good. So we said, you know what, let's just keep going. So I mean, it could all blow up in our face tomorrow. So who knows? We're having a lot of fun, and everybody's been great in the class and other classes. And I mean, everybody's been welcoming. Even like when we were pulling Region 2 a little bit, the guys at Charlotte, and because that's pretty close to home in Monroe. I mean, you couldn't ask for better people to welcome me to come down and pull, and made it a lot of fun for us. Like no drama for us, just come down and go tractor pulling. And yeah, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Sure.
How did you get started in pulling, Butch? Like, when was your first time down the track?
So I guess my brother-in-law Ryan that pulls with us, him and his dad were pulling a naturally aspirated mini, and I would just go tag along and hang out with them. Probably more because I was chasing Ryan's sister around at the time. So.
Hang on a second. Back up. So you and Ryan are brother-in-laws.
Yeah, he's my brother-in-law.
All right, finish the story with Tyler, then you can tell us how your pulling teammate and you were sharing bloodlines now.
Yeah, so they were pulling and I just kind of went to hang out, and then I got hauling the sled around because nobody would do that, and we were working with the sled and doing stuff. And then one day they just threw me in the tractor and said, hey, you got to drive. I said, this is a bad idea, guys. Like, I don't want to buy one of these. I can't afford it. And they threw me in, and next thing I know, I own one like 10 days later. And
10 days?
Yeah, I mean, we bought one from another guy in the club, and I sucked for 2 years. I think I was last every weekend, but it was still fun. And then we just kept building up from there, and we got into some small block blowers. We bought some stuff from the Ewing brothers and some other guys from Ohio, and got running a little bit of Ohio on the winter circuit at we went to Gordyville a couple times and Eaton, Ohio, and had some fun there. So, and then actually we bought another chassis from the Ewings and decided let's try and put a Hemi in. And we were trying to get the Hemi glass going at home and then run down here a little bit. And then COVID kind of killed it all at home, and guys backed out, and it's kind of going a little bit again. I still own the sled up there for the mini class. So
you own a sled, so you practice.
Yeah, no.
Get him off the air. He practices.
Is it the Bauer built green sled?
No, that sled's in Quebec. So
it's in Quebec.
Yeah, they pull with
so
that.
It's my dad's pickup truck.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you ever make practice runs?
We tried a couple times, but it's such a pain in the ass to get the track ready for one pass. So we gave up on that. So
we got in the background.
Hey, Chase, turn around there.
Oh, we got another Happy Gilmore here. Come up here, kids. Say hello to the fans.
Hello.
Yeah, we got the Bargy family there showing Chase some love.
Yeah.
They knew he was a little upset that he didn't have a check behind him, so they're doing their part there. I love it.
Thanks for making my day better.
You got to keep the kids involved. That's I love
family
to see
sport. Fist pound. Go see you kids. So Butch, so you definitely practice. That's what happens. You have a sled and you go up there, and I did not know you had a sled. No wonder you kicked everybody's ass last week.
Yeah, we haven't practiced in a while, so no, it's been a few years now.
But you have before, right? No, Butch, you've made a track and kind of given it a go.
Times.
Well, fuck as well.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to if you had a sled. I would have to.
So I would like the name Bull Hauler. For fans that don't know, Bull Hauler green and gray. You drive them both. You haul bulls for a living?
Yeah, we haul bulls, a lot of show cows. We're all over the U.S. and Canada, so we're kind of into a little more specialty stuff. So we got trucks coming back and forth across the border every day. Western Canada, Western U.S., all over. Just loading airplanes. That's kind of what we do. So
hang on, can you take us through that? How do you load an airplane with cows?
You just load them.
Cows fly?
Yeah, they fly. Yeah.
We got to hear more. I got to hear more about this.
Yeah, you just go to the airport and load them on some crates, and away they go.
Do they have to go through security?
Not that I've seen, but you never know.
Like, do they ever pat them down?
What?
Chase, you're going to create a government shutdown.
What sort of need or desire exists to justify the expense of transporting bovine through the air, Butch?
I think certain countries, they can't ship semen through
I'm sorry, what was
that? Yeah. We can ship some yours over there.
Hang on, you're on hour 2 of the podcast. You got to talk slow. You said they cannot transport semen?
Yeah, so they got to ship a live animal across to get the job done. So,
really?
Boy.
Okay. So hang on, instead of bull hauler, you need to be semen flyer. That's what you need to be called. Will you please call the second tractor the semen flyer?
We'd probably make more money if we could do that.
So
you would just be part of the Richardson team with a sexual innuendo like that.
Hang on a second. Adam. We were just going through the negative comments. I don't want to go back to them again. I think this. So instead of bull hauler gray and green, bull hauler and semen flyer.
Yeah,
I think that's perfect.
Maybe for the next one,
semen flyer.
Well, I gotta wonder, Butch, how do you even get into that? Like, what sort of countries are you? Like, are you facilitating the entire transport, like even the air transport?
You just gotta drop them off.
We just gotta drop them off. We just pick them up and drop them off.
And then do you wait until they're done and take them back?
No.
Is it pimping
cows?
I have no experience. This is kind of like when you drop them off and then they come back out and you can put them in the car and you go on.
We're just like a taxi shuttle to the airport. That's all we do.
So whenever they're done, you don't take them back.
No, not that I know of anyway.
Holy shit, the semen flyers.
So they just go one way. They never come back?
I've never seen them come back, but maybe they have that I just don't know about.
I didn't know if it was just like a one-night stand.
Any cow that's getting shipped overseas, you're not coming back.
No.
We're not picking. I'm fascinated. I'm sorry. Like I did not know you. I thought you just hauled them. I didn't know you flew them.
I'm pretty sure the U.S. Customs what is the immigration control deal has some kind of thing in the United States about that.
Yeah, no, they're pretty good. I mean, they don't even really want to deal with us at the border. They're just kind of like, go see the vet at the border and get out of here.
Get out of here, yeah. How many of them fly in one plane at one time?
It depends. I mean, I remember being a kid, we shipped like, what was it? 3,000 pigs to Russia one day. So
3,000 pigs to Russia?
Yeah, they
on
were
a plane.
Yeah, just little baby.
Imagine
pigs.
how bad that thing smelled.
Yeah,
Hey, so when they literally say when pigs fly, it's happening.
it's happening. Yeah.
Wow. So
That is-
So
that
you
is
fly to
wild.
Russia and all over the world
Yeah, wherever these customers want them. Like I don't.
Wow.
we
just
go to-
for semen?
Yeah, pretty much. A little bit of breeding too, if they can't get certain genomics.
Well, yeah, Butch, we assume the semen was for
Yeah.
breeding, not consumption.
I
Exactly.
came over to talk me around pulling, not semen transport. Well, I'm kind of
I
speechless.
saw you going off the wheel or off the rails here.
Oh, yeah. Butch, what do you think do you get more hassle bringing cows across the border or you're pulling tractors?
Probably cows at the moment. Yeah, they're
Oh, okay.
it's been
Yeah.
pretty good. I mean, we've been lucky. I know some guys have trouble, but honestly, most of the guys at the border, they're like, "What do you got in there?" And you tell them, they're like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. Can we go check it out?" And they're like, "Is it your wife? No, you have that." I'm like, "Yeah, but she doesn't know what it's worth." So,
Yeah. Just a lawnmower.
yeah, exactly.
Do you have a standout border story horror crossing? Because I feel like everybody, once they do it enough times, they've got one standout story where things just didn't go
Actually,
well.
not yet. No, we've been pretty lucky. I know
What? Actually, I don't want to ask which border you cross, but
we cross at Detroit and Port Huron. Just
Huron?
depends where we're going. Detroit quite a bit. So
many times
average hours to a pulling event. What are you looking at?
I don't know. Like Bowling Green's the closest for us. It's 4.5 hours.
Okay.
We're like
That's
11,
close.
12 to here. Anywhere from that, probably, I don't know, Macon, Missouri, the next one. I think that's
So
about
Florida. How far was Florida?
1,200 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oof.
But I mean, like some of the guys are farther. Like you get talking to Kevin Hill, he's way up in Vermont, and he's farther than we are. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't realize this till, not to change the subject, but the going to Hutch is 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours further than us to go to Florida. Obviously, we're more southern based, but yeah, the guys up north, they really freaking earn it.
Ricky Rose, Brett Berg, Christensen's, like when they run, they have to travel.
Yeah. Do you so in Canada, we've talked many times, I think collectively, I have a lot of great memories of St. Hyacinthe, Quebec. Is there any big pulls that we have a lot of Canadian listeners on here that you can shout out or like recommend, like the American fan that wants to go see pulling in Canada? Where should they go?
well, they just had one last weekend in Dungannon. That was a big pull.
Where is that? We don't know what that is.
Dungannon is like probably an hour from Port Huron. Embro is an hour and a half. That's a pretty big one. There's a couple other ones. Nothing crazy size. Nothing like down here.
What's the one that Chance McGrath puts on? Where would that be at?
That's in New Brunswick, I believe. I've never been
That's
to that
the 4th
one.
of July weekend.
Yeah.
I think we're streaming that.
Yeah,
Full Pull Live is streaming that pull.
And they say that facility is phenomenal.
I've heard that. I'd like to go there someday, but I don't know if they even run the minis out there. So
Gotcha.
We are streaming that pull. It is way up there. I forgot what it's called. It has a few punctuations and periods in it, but it's in Quebec.
It's
somewhere.
it's in Nebraska. It's a long way.
Maybe that's not it then.
Yeah, maybe I think it's a different one. So
Yeah, I was wrong again in this podcast.
From what I understand, the facility is U-shaped, and you pull into the root of the U.
I believe so. I seen pictures of that too.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
Is the Adam? I've seen those pictures too. I don't think that's not in Quebec. It's in
New Brunswick.
New Brunswick. Yeah, the provinces. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time.
I think it's New Brunswick. Maybe it's Nova Scotia.
You guys have talked about 2 of them. I now know 2 of them.
Inwood, Ontario is totally gone, right?
It's totally gone. I used to go there when I was a kid with my dad. It was pretty cool. I mean,
didn't they have an event up there where they had like truck drag races and
I believe
is that
so.
it?
Yeah. I think it was at Inwood. They used to have some truck drag races in Quebec. It was all uphill, but insurance killed all that now. So
I gotcha. Right on.
Have you been to St. Hyacinthe?
I'm never to pull. I mean, lots for work and stuff.
Holy shit, that's a fun pull.
Smells like chocolate.
Yeah.
John Van Horn's trying to get us to come down this year, but I don't know what we got for time this year.
Yeah,
so.
and John, like in Florida, he went with you all, and y'all kind of like
run
together some.
We took his tractor down. He pulled at where was it, Fort Wayne the weekend before, and we took the tractor, and he just actually picked it up last week from my place. So I think he figured he better start tractor pulling again.
Yeah, Canadian dream.
Butch, did you pull a Chase and take the transmission apart to see what he had in it for a gear?
Not yet. Hopefully tomorrow.
You don't want to check mine. So obviously, another big moment we want to cover. Not to get anything other than positive on this podcast, but like I think it was one of the coolest. I've been around pulling my whole life. One of the coolest things I've seen is you left last week and had unfortunately had your father who passed away, attended his funeral, drove across the Canadian and U.S. country to come win your first Grand National. So we're not here to make this a somber moment, but I just want to cheers you for such an amazing feat to win your first Grand National pull under circumstances, Butch, and thoughts and prayers for you. I know it's still fresh, but badass shit, my friend.
Oh, no, thank you. Yeah, it was. It's been a tough few weeks. I mean, we actually found out just before we went to Florida that he had cancer, so it's been a battle all winter. But he was tough, and he hung in there as long as he could. And then he passed away last Monday. And then, excuse me, the guys they brought the motorhome down and the tractors, and I came right after the funeral and got here Friday. So really didn't have time to think about it. Got in the tractor and it was just a whirlwind. But I mean, I couldn't do it without the guys we have. Mark and Whirls are with us all the time, and those guys are amazing. Like, it's just that's what makes it so fun, right?
They like to drink. They're like your version of Donald. They're just a little more professional. They like to party, have a good time.
Yeah, so like the motivation behind it, like when my dad passed away at Chapel Hill, they were ready up to just load up and go home, which, could have done that. Like, but the first thing that came to my mind is my dad would be mad if I left. Right. Yeah. So, I mean, was that like kind of in your mind? Like your dad was like, do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, very supportive.
My dad didn't like pulling like I do. I mean, he likes tractor pulling. He would come to Bowling Green every year and watch, and he kind of got me interested in it when I was a kid going to Inwood and stuff. But we could never get him in the tractor. He wouldn't drive or anything. But I knew he knew we were passionate about it, and if we didn't come, he'd be mad. So he knew we were hopefully run the whole deal this year. So yeah,
that's the perfect motivation, man. Like,
yeah,
the way you did it.
Well, Butch has some fans here. We're getting to the tail end of the show. I don't know what we need to cover else, but I think it's about time that we start doing our cheersing and having our exits. Tyler and Adam, anything we need to cover on our end? I think we get back together after the 4th of July. Tyler, I need to get with you off air. 4th of July, that Saturday night, I might try to come find you, but anything else we cover?
I mean, does Butch have any good travel stories? He's got to have something all those miles up and down the road.
Come across to the border?
Well, whether it's border related or blowing out a steer tire, ending up in a median, as many miles as he goes up and down the road hauling cows.
I feel like his travel stories already been told. He hauls semen in an airplane. So. But carry on. Do you have travel stories this year?
I don't know. There's a couple, but we were going to one of John Van Horn's home pull. I think it was the year right after COVID, and they were kind of doing the odd pull here and there. And we got hooked up and left my shop, and we got like a mile down the road. And I thought, did I just blow a trailer tire? What is all that smoke? And I'm looking in the mirror, and I pull over, and the trailer hits the gravel, and there's gravel flying everywhere. The trailer broke off the hitch right off the back of the motorhome. Like, we were literally a mile from the shop going down the highway. And the receiver come down. It was held on by a 1/4-inch bolt holding the safety chain on. And
sounds like you're in Kentucky.
I have no idea how that trailer stayed upright. And it was the first time I had the Hemi in my new tractor, and I'm like, that was all gone away. So we got pretty lucky there. And yeah, we haven't had nothing crazy other than that, but luckily that was close to home.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. All right.
That's pretty mild mannered for a man that hauls semen across the world. Yeah.
Butch, what's the origin of your gray tractor that you got the win with? Like where did that tractor start life as?
So we bought it from Campbell's this winter. That was
Okay.
wild card tractor Kevin used to drive.
Okay.
So we just bought the chassis, and we had a spare motor at home, so we threw that in, and we kind of wanted something to match the green tractor because we bought that from Chris Shoemaker there a year and a half ago. So
I didn't realize that. I'm new to this information.
So that was actually the old the first Green Streak Mini. So
wow.
Yeah, so I don't know. The gray tractor's been pretty good, so we've been pretty lucky with that. So just trying to ride the wave and have some fun. I mean, there's a lot of good competition out here, and I mean, you guys are all good, and everybody's good wherever you go. So
those two are way better at home because they get first and second where they go. So
yeah. So that's where the gray tractor comes from.
Okay,
So
and then what about?
Oh, go ahead, Tyler.
Nope.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead, Adam.
I was just gonna say, now that you're in the pulling world and you're running the circuit and you're doing all the things, what's the first thing that, if you were in charge, that you would do to make our sport better?
That's a good question. Try and get some outside sponsorship that's not farmer related, and get kind of like NASCAR does, right? Get some more money in here that the pullers aren't putting all their money into keeping this going, right? I think that would help a lot. Everybody's got so much money invested in this and time, and I know we all do it because we love it, but it's expensive, as you guys all know. So it'd be nice to get some of that outside world. But what you guys are doing now, I think that's a big step in the right direction. I mean, all the full pull stuff and everybody is really trying, and it's good to see, and it's come a long way, and we got a long way to go. But it'd be nice to get it better in Canada, but we got a lot of people up there that are watching all the time and cheering on, and hopefully it can help up there too. So,
yep, absolutely.
I think we'd all agree that pulling's very alive right now. We just need to all capitalize on it, and I think we're all passionate people who wouldn't do this. So, let's just try to push it and help each other out along the way. Kudos to that statement.
All right, Butch, we got Lindsay Campbell here checking in saying, question for Butch, are you getting a ride on a drone?
So John Van Horn is buying a drone from China.
I got to hear about this.
It's a one-seater. He went there after Florida. And he wants to take everybody for a ride in it, but I don't know if I want to get in with that guy.
So he's purchasing a drone that can carry a human being. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I think it's two people, but I'd have to ask him.
We don't need tragedies in the sport. Let's keep it where we're arguing instead of freaking crying.
All right, we got John Van Horn checking in here saying, Lindsay, John, you can't just say Lindsay. We need more feedback on this. I vote
that we all keep arguing instead of dying. So let's stay away from the drone.
Yeah,
positive. You got to be positive, Chase, and I'm the one that's been told to be positive.
Yeah, Chase, you're going to get a positive.
Arguing versus death, which we got to have. I'd rather argue.
Butch, if it's Saturday night at Bowling Green, the mini rods are running, you are last hook in the class, and it's always special getting a win, but it's always more special taking it from that certain someone. For you, who are you looking to bump into that second place spot Saturday night at Bowling Green?
I can't pick one guy. That's the problem. There's two guys.
All right, pick two then. Pick two.
Say Adam and Tyler.
Sorry, it's not Adam and Tyler. Adam Bauer and Ken Vinny.
Yeah, that's hard to beat.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, Adam, your dad too. I mean, your dad's a legend, right? I mean, I watched him as a kid, and just those guys. Like Ken's been around forever, and Adam Bauer. Like I remember sitting in the stands in Bowling Green, and Adam's the same age as me, and I'm like that guy's unbelievable. Like. It'd be awesome to sit there and his age, like, I don't know, he was early 20s and
he still acts the same. He's still the same.
Oh yeah. He came over after we won Friday and we had a bunch of beer and it's a lot of fun. So
he's the same old dude all the time. Never changed.
He's been the same since I met him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gets really
sure.
effed up and can drive the shit out of pulling vehicles.
Yep, he's a good dude.
Sure.
Well, I hope you went up to him and you said, Adam, I watched you since I was young and I always wanted to kick your ass. And tonight I finally did.
Probably the first and
No,
last
you should have
time.
said, Adam, how'd that feel, bitch? Oh, shit. Adam and Tyler, anything else on the traditional?
Throw us in on the sessions that the minis are pulling. I think Thursday night and Saturday afternoon.
Thursday and Saturday noon, right?
Yep, that's right.
Well,
It all
I
gets
feel like if Butch has watched this show before, he's aware of what 2 truths and 1 lie is. So we're really going to put Butch on the spot here and ask him to say 3 statements, 2 of them being truths, 1 of them being a lie.
Chase is about to pee himself.
Yeah, this is why Chase just about revealed himself live on the show. Butch, you're familiar with this little segment here, yeah?
Yeah, I didn't even think about this. Chase put me on the spot this afternoon.
Yeah.
He said, "You're on the show today. You can't say no." I didn't have time.
Butch, let me tell you, he does a horrible job at prepping the guests.
You know who does worse than Chase? Myself.
I got to take a pass, Tyler. Come on, give me a different question here.
You got to take a pass on that one?
Yeah, I don't have anything good.
You got any questions for him, Tyler? A little rapid fire.
I didn't prep any, but I can always dig back into the archive here. All right, we'll make it quick here, Butch, to wrap it up. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or a horse-sized duck?
Horse-sized duck.
That's a bold move. I'm going the other way on that. If you had to give a speech to a group of kids graduating high school, what would your 1 key piece of advice be?
Don't eat yellow snow.
What's your favorite activity to do on vacation, Butch?
Oh, sit down and drink a few bush lights.
Yeah,
There
you
you
can't
go.
argue with that. What is the strangest thing you've ever eaten?
Oh, I don't know. Squid, I think, once.
Yeah, that's a little unique. First job you've ever had, Butch?
I used to work at the hardware store when I was like 13, 14, on the side when I wasn't working for my dad, and I was the carryout boy carrying salt and sandbags and all that stuff.
Very nice.
You're
What
jacked.
everyday task could you win a gold medal in if it was in the Olympics?
I would never win.
Like a random task, Butch. Like, are you like, you know what? Nobody peels an orange better than me. I'm the best at it. What do you got?
Nobody can shovel more bullshit out of a trailer than me. So
Okay, I like it. I like it. If you had to pick 1 puller to build your family a boat to escape a deserted island, which one would you choose?
Tommy LaRue.
No,
that's
you
a
go.
solid
I thought
one
you
right
cared about
there.
life.
Flex seal.
Butch, what animal do you fear the most?
I hate snakes.
Oh, same here, Butch.
Reptile, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you had to pick 1 conspiracy theory to say that you believe in, which one would it be?
Oh, I don't have one of those.
You don't have a single conspiracy theory? Chemtrails, 9/11, the whole 9 yards? What do you got?
UFOs.
Yeah, UFOs. That's a good one. Yeah.
Okay. If you had to compete against Chase and Adam in a 3-legged race with your leg tied to a fellow puller,
Hang on,
your
why are you
partner?
not in this question?
Because I don't like to include myself. Who would be your partner, Butch?
Probably Adam. Chase is too tall. I'm short.
That's fair. That's fair.
No shit.
Jesus Christ.
And finally, to wrap it up, Butch, would you have trusted the first person that ever ate an egg that came out of a chicken?
Absolutely not.
No, me neither. I still think that's insane.
That's a frequent question from you, Tyler, right?
These were all actually repeats. I didn't prep questions accordingly because I wasn't 100% sure on the show rundown. So,
Way to ruin it for all our fans, Tyler.
Well, I'm sorry, Chase. Yeah, I'm letting everyone down. I'll try to be more original
You're
next
too
time.
copying your checks and forgetting what this podcast is about.
Yeah, indeed. All right, well, we're over 2 hours, creeping in on 2.5. Butch, we are all rooting for you to take
Butch,
out Mr. Chase.
any final thank yous from anyone we need to thank or anything on your end? And thanks for joining us, by the way.
Oh, thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not a big guy to talk and stuff like that, but this is pretty cool. You guys make it easy on a guy. So, no, thanks for having me on. Thanks for everything you guys do just to keep things growing. It's tough to keep doing it. I mean, like, what's it been, 2 years now?
Shit, we'll be 3 years this fall.
Is it really? So
yeah. It feels like it's 100 years.
I mean, it's exciting though. Every other week that we always tune in, and if I don't catch it that night, we always listen the next day. So
Perfect.
Thanks a lot.
What's your honest opinion of this podcast? If you weren't a puller,
problem is I am a puller, so I don't know.
Like, do you think this is a shit show or it's actually good?
No, I like it. I mean, because it's honest, right? There's
the vain questions that Adam wanted to bring to the show makes us all very honest.
Yeah, it makes it honest.
No, it's good. I enjoy it. So yeah, no, thanks to you guys. I mean, I got to say thanks to my team. Those guys are great. My wife for letting me do this, and my kids. They're busy playing sports all the time, but to let me be gone and have some fun and do this. So, no, thanks a lot, guys, and congratulations to you guys on last weekend's wins too. So, good job.
Are you trying to rub it in my face that I'm not winning the fucking mirror? So he went. Everyone on this podcast has won a mirror on hook in the last week except me. So Butch, it's time to end this show. No, Butch has a he has a whole base of fans back there he wants to get to. But cheers to you guys, and you guys from Canada. It's been great getting to know you and pulling with you, Adam and Tyler. I love you. I miss you. I can't wait to hear from you all at 4 a.m. on what went right or wrong for me or Butch, but we'll catch you all.
Good luck to both of you.
Yep.
What you're going to do during Tomah this week? Are you going to watch?
Oh yeah, I'll be watching.
Oh, I'd definitely be watching. Depending on the weather, I may go down to Tennessee and go to the lake. So
you'll be watching from your iPhone.
Oh yeah, I'll be watching.
Love it.
All right, so I expect a group call late evenings after Rod runs to recap. All right, it just doesn't feel right.
Let's do whatever you got to do to make sure that there's no rain during any sessions of pulling at Tomah.
Unlike you all with your circuit, if I make it to the winner's circle, I will be sure to shout you all on this podcast out. So
all right, I look forward to that.
I'm a true team player, but the likelihood of that happens is not good. So I can talk shit all I want, right? So
you know what, Chase? If I'm lucky enough to get in the winner's circle again, which is probably unlikely, I promise I will shout you out.
If I make it to the winner's circle at any point this weekend, the first two people I'm going to thank are Tyler and Adam for putting me on this stage through our friendship in the podcast. Promise you. But don't hold your breath.
All right.
Positivity check for Chase. He's got to be positive.
That's right, Chase. All right. Enough of the riff-raff. We suck at goodbyes. Let's wrap it.
Cheers to you. I love you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Pulling fans too in this weekend. I think there's no pulling after this. We're going to Ohio, Michigan, but we'll be back before you guys pull again, right? You all aren't pulling where until next show, right?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah. All right. So we'll be back in a couple weeks. Thank you all. See you soon.
See ya.
That's a wrap.
Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the No Practice Podcast.
Have a good one. Bye.
Stay tuned for the next episode, where we guarantee there still won't be any